Up in the sky, I'm champagne, living my life in the fast lane. I'm not changed by the glamorous, glamorous. Glamorous, glamorous, by the glamorous, 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 by the glamorous, brains on things on the things, I'm the conversation, things I'll be on the screens, making scenes of what she sings. I'm not queen of Christine, I'm the queen of shame. I still go to top the bed, drive on the roads, yeah, I don't care. I'm still real, no matter how many rounds I sell. After show, after the Grammys, I look so good, after the family sipping lemonade, I'm living like us. All this place, up in the sky, I'm champagne, living my life in the fast lane. I'm unchanged by the glamorous, 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 by the glamorous, 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 by the glamorous,
champagne, caviar, eggs, dessert, but all the finest eggs. Now this whole world has no clue what to do.
Just giving y'all time to roll in and to roll in and to roll in. So just roll on in. As you're rolling on in, thumbs up this video, you guys. Share the stream out. Thank you so much. Up in the sky, I'm champagne, living my life in the fast lane. I'm not shy, glamorous, glamorous, All right, you guys. Hello. Welcome to the live stream. Of course, it is your host, Conscious TV. Whom else would it be tonight? Okay. This is a much requested video. I don't know how much we're going to get done, but I'm going to try to get as much of it done as possible. You guys have been itching and begging and DMing and emailing me about units and wigs and hair, and I told you guys that I would come through with the come through. So I decided to do some of this online while on live with you all, and to just get into some conversation, kick it with you guys, give you guys some updates, and just, you know, touch on some things. Okay, I might have a guest. Well, I am going to have a guest coming on to join me in this conversation. This is being done on StreamYard, so that means that you guys are welcome to join this live as well. Okay, I will put the link in the description box below. Okay, let me see before we get started what needs to happen. Okay, first thing first, you guys know that my phone been jacked the hell up. It's been jacked up. Now I got first of all, can you guys hear me? If you guys can hear me, let me know in the chat before I go any further. Let me know what it gives. Let me pull up my own screen, y'all. See what I sound like. But let me know if you guys can hear me. Why is this shit so close? I need to push all the way back. If you guys can hear me, let me know. I know that on StreamYard, like, the chat is delayed. Okay, you guys can hear me. Wonderful. Okay, great. So, before I get into the hair, honey. Hey, Nicole, what's going on? Cherie, what's going on? Merlin Owens. Hey, Phoebe, what's going on? Hey, Mods. Hey, Just Be Real. What's going on, everybody? Everybody coming in. Hello. Now, I told you guys in my last video that I had fucked my phone up, right? And my phone been out of business for about a week. I don't even bother really getting my phone fixed like ASAP because it gives me an opportunity to kind of go on a tad bit of a fast. I like unplugging from social media. I like unplugging from my social life. However, I had broke my fucking screen. Now, I'm a very like transparent person. Like what you see is what the fuck you get. I really don't be giving no good goddamn about what the hell people think about me or what people say. Ain't near bitch opinion paying my motherfucking bills, and ain't near hoe died on the cross for me. So I just don't be invested, right? So when I turned my phone in, and this is my second time working with this company, I didn't bother to put a screen lock on my phone. Hey, Sir Smiles. I did not bother to put a passcode on this bitch. I didn't put like, you know, a fingerprint code, no nothing. It was just wide open for the wide open. It would be my luck, okay, that when I go to pick my phone up on yesterday, right, or day before yesterday, the little Asian guy, very attractive nigga, for one, he's ringing my order up, we having small talk, and then he like slides my phone across the motherfucking counter, and bitch, all of my hoes, like every last single one of my hoes, my main hoes, my part-time hoes, and my potential hoes, they have all been text messaging me, DMing me, and bitch, all of the horniness is splattered all across the phone. Like you can literally read the messages, girl. Like one of my hoes was just like, I'm horny. Another one of my hoes was like, when I'm gonna get some of that wet. And this shit was literally just showing up all in my notifications, girl. Screen wide open and all. And I was fucking hollering because he was trying his best not to actually look at my phone, even though I know that I had done gave them hoes a good key, because I know they've been talking shit about my ass for the past 3 days, girl. I know that them hoes was talking shit about my ass for 3 days, girl. I know they was dragging the living shit out of me on a lunch break, girl. And because I'm a confident hoe, bitch. You know what? If you gonna play stupid, I'm gonna play stupid too, bitch. So we sure did carry on about the Holy Ghost and the church and Christ and being saved, girl. If you ain't see no evil, I ain't see no evil, bitch. If you ain't see no evil, I ain't see none. I ain't hear none, girl. You see me, I see you. We see each other, bitch. Period. Okay? Now, look, if I would have thought, if I would have been the customer server and this would have been my phone, and I would have had access to the phone, girl, I wouldn't have even dared look through the gallery, girl, because the gallery is the heart of the evil on my damn phone, bitch. The notifications would have took your ass out all by themselves. Nonetheless, I got my phone back and I'm happy. Okay. Now, tonight, okay, we're gonna be getting into some hair, okay? You guys see the updates in the title, talking updates, the gentleman's panel being used by men. We're gonna have a whole lot of conversation tonight, girl, okay? They all know your business, all my little business, girl. And the gag is, I like to present myself like a whore, but I'm one of the most sexually conservative people in the whole wide world. Like literally, I can still count all of my sexual partners on one hand. And it's because I've been with 5 men in relationships, in long-term relationships. You know, I was fucking the same man for years before I would transition out of a relationship into another relationship and be fucking that man for years. But I present myself like a wild child, okay? And I attract a lot of wild child situations, which is what actually scares the living fuck out of me. It's because I attract like really outrageous situations that it makes me like pump the fucking brakes, because I'm just like, girl, one wrong move in CTV's life, girl, can have shit go from the extreme left to the extreme right real quick. Nicole said he probably wanted to ask you, can he take note? Look, I'm teaching classes. Just join that Patreon, baby. We get into some more things. Now, tonight, joining us is Bonifa. Bonifa has been with me for 3 years. She's a single mom, and she looks like everything she's indeed been through, okay? She have a few domestic violence scars. She's a domestic violence survivor. She has 3 abortions behind her, and she's got 3 failed marriages in her past, okay? But she's starting anew. We're making a home together, okay? She's been a real good Judy of mine. She don't got no hair and no edges and not a single follicle left, okay? Because the bitch been through it all, baby. She been through it all, okay? This is a goddess night. Now, Bonifa, she's intelligent. She's a sweetheart. But baby, the bitch has been living the struggle, okay? This bitch so ratchet. She don't even wrap her weave, girl. She goes to sleep like the Caucasian girls do, girl, and lays her edges down. No scarf, no bonnet, no nothing, on just raw cotton. Where they do that at? And you thought you wasn't gonna be edgeless, bitch? You thought you wasn't gonna be all brittle, all up and around and all up and through? Baby, okay? Nonetheless, though, I've given her a second chance at hair, okay? So this is my good, she likes to be my crash dummy for all of my weaves and wigs, okay? So get you a good mannequin head, okay? Styrofoam, to be specific. Now, people have been asking me, how do I do my wigs? Because I have a tapered hairline. What's going on, Stings girl? I have a tapered hairline, and soon I'm going to be having a shaven side altogether because I'm pushing the envelope, okay? I'm ready for something real edgy. And I've been rocking my hair flipped over anyway for the past like 2.5, 3 months. And I'm like, I might as well just go ahead and shave this shit down. But I'm nervous because my natural hair been with me for like 15 years now. And even though I'm only shaving this like little corner here, it's a lot of hair right here. And just cutting it's hard. But I think I'm going to go for the plunge on my birthday. My birthday is November the 15th. So it's about a month out. And I think I'm going to treat myself to another mile marker and mark that mile by shaving my head, okay? So get you a good mannequin head. You're going to need some of these little pins to hold your cap down, all that good jazz. Okay. Mannequin head, okay. This is what I use for my wig caps. This is a do-it-yourself wig U-part wig cap, okay? I do not use the dome wig caps. Y'all like using those thick ass dome caps, and I do not know why. I like these because, first of all, they come with the adjustable straps already sewed into them, and these are really thin and breathable, which means that your scalp has a chance to still breathe even when it's underneath this cap and all them goddamn bundles, okay? And your scalp receiving oxygen is really, really, really necessary, okay? Because you'll go bald-headed quick, bitch, choking your goddamn follicles to sleep, okay? So oxygen and moisture are key essentials, especially for black hair. Our hair needs oxygen and our hair needs moisture, okay? I'm going to open this up and show. And you can find these at any local beauty supply store. They run like, I don't know, $3-4. See, they're very thin. You can see through them. They have the adjustable straps. You're already built in. Now, what I do with my mannequin head, okay, is I take a measuring stick and I measure from top to back and then from ear to ear. And then I mark those on the mannequin head. So you can see here, we have a mark. Here, have a mark. The front here and the back here, okay? What you want to do, girl, is take your cap. Take whatever wig cap you're using, okay? And you want to put your pins in those areas where you marked off the measurements, because this is what's going to give you a perfecto fit, okay? You ain't got to worry about gluing shit down. You ain't got to worry about a triple goddamn waistband and all these goddamn elastic bands and shit that the girls are on. If you just get you a really good braid pattern and use combs, literally. And you can slide this shit on and off all day. Slide your unit. I done dropped my damn ring. On and off all day, okay, without problems. For me personally, I don't like sleeping with hair. So everything either goes up into a top bun or the shit comes off altogether. And I have a nice, beautiful braid pattern underneath that I slap a scarf on and take my ass to bed with. So this allows for a lot of flexibility. And I would suggest that you don't sleep with this shit on, okay? Once again, you do have natural hair underneath that also needs your attention. And you don't want to be neglecting your natural hair, because that would just lead to you having no hair. And if you're using your natural hair the way that I use my natural hair when it comes to my weaves and my units, you need all your natural hair, okay? There's not a single unit that I wear that I don't blend in with my own natural hair, okay? I always have leave outs in all of my units. I just think it just looks more natural. I don't like the lace hairline and all of that shit. I don't like the fake ass baby hair. So I just like using my own natural hair when it comes to weave, especially as a male, because I like to be as undetectable as possible, okay? So as you can see, everything is pinned the fuck down, honey. Everything is pinned in place. And I've measured my head once again. So this is going to give me a perfect fit. And you want to pin your cap down, because also what happens sometimes is when you start sewing onto the cap, if it's not pinned down, you risk shrinking the wig cap. So your cap might be too tight because it's too small. So once again, pinning everything down gives you a perfect fit, and you don't have to worry about the cap being too big or too small. If you just measure your head, mark it off on your mannequin head, pin the cap down, and then begin your sewing process, okay? Now, whew, child. It's a lot going on, bitch. Now, let me show you the hair that I'm going to be working with. So, I'm working with a new company. They sent me a closure that I'm going to use with some previous bundles that I already own. All of the hair that I own, you guys, FYI, is really good quality hair. Like, I have a lot of hair that's been with me for years. Like, I have a whole tub of weaves, wigs, units. I mean, the whole nine. I'm a weave wig unit connoisseur, okay? So a lot of the hair that I have, I really don't even have to purchase any hair. Between all of the hair that gets donated and sponsored by companies sent to me, and all of the hair that I've just owned previously, yeah, I never have to buy another piece of hair in my life. And all the hair that I have, I can do 100 things with them 100 times over for the rest of, like, for a whole lifetime with, okay? But nonetheless, this company sent my package, FedEx, okay? FedEx style, yeah. Address marked out. FedEx style. And the name of this company is Trendy Beauty Hair. Okay? Trendy Beauty Hair. Hey, Nubian Goddess, what's going on, boo? We're just getting the hair shit laid foundationally for this video, because what's going to happen is we're going to transition into conversations about some things going on in the world, okay? And I'm just going to be, as I'm sewing the hair and all that kind of stuff, I'll be answering questions, giving you guys commentary about the hair, but also engaging in other conversations. So Trendy Hair, this is their card, okay? Comes with the package, all that good jazz. They always send pairs of flashes with these companies, and they sent me a closure, okay? It is a 22-inch kinky straight closure. Now, well, it's a 22-inch closure, and it actually came today. I went on ahead and bleached it today as well, okay? So this is how the closure looks. This is 22 inches of her girth. Now, the original hair is this color here, okay? I left a bit of an ombre because I'm doing a bit of an ombre effect. I like ombre effects. I am not into like the colored hair that's colored from roots to ends. I don't like that look. I feel like the Muniz just look way too costumey. They just don't look natural, you know? So I think when you're gonna do colored hair, for me, I would recommend always leaving an ombre. This creates the illusion that the hair is growing out of your scalp and then bleeds into whatever color you have, whether that's pink, red, purple, orange, whatever the hell you're doing. So I left an ombre. Now this is a bleach on the first pass, okay? And I'm going to show you guys the bleach and the powder and shit that I've used. I'm going to probably have to lift this hair 2 more times because I need it to be about 2 more shades lighter than this for the color that I'm going to do. But the hair is really soft. Really good closure. Like, it's withstanding the bleaching process, okay? And I believe this is a 4x4 closure. So, yeah, I haven't even cut the lace off yet. Now, this is how I bleach my hair. I use Salon Care's 40 volume when I'm bleaching dark hair. If you are lifting hair that's already been bleached, already been colored, you don't need this strong of a goddamn volume developer. This volume developer on already bleached lifted hair is going to turn your goddamn wig into a damn fireball, bitch. So you don't need no damn 40 volume developer if your hair is already bleached, if it's already been colored. But if you still need to lift the hair to get rid of like a dye, use a 10 volume, okay? A 10 volume developer. 10 is going to be way, way, way less damaging, okay? You're going to damn fry your soul out of your damn body if you use 40, okay? But if you're bleaching raw hair, this will get the job done, and it'll expedite your time, which I need all that, okay? Because I'm busy as fuck these days, and I ain't got time to be watching no motherfucking hair all day, okay? People prefer different bleaching powder. I stick to the rivers and the streams and the lakes that I'm motherfucking used to, and that would be the Clairol BW2, okay? Bleaching powder. You can find this expensive ass tub of powder at any beauty supply store, at any Sally's. This shit ran me $10. $10. If you motherfuckers seen how I had to fucking bootleg and rig and motherfucking invoke the spirit of my damn ancestors to make this shit stretch out over 3 bundles and a closure, baby, you would have indeed known I had to be a damn witch, bitch, because they don't even give you enough for all that they charge for this little ass bottle of fucking BW powder. Let me show you how. Look. This might look like enough. It ain't, bitch. Because if you bleach, if you take in black hair, dark hair, 1B hair, and you're lifting it to the lightest blonde, you're going to have to bleach that hair at least 3 times, girl. And this to get you through at least one good solid bleaching. Looks can be deceiving, ho. What's going on? The soap? Okay. So 40 volume developer, BW powder. Somebody gonna say this cocaine, child. Okay. Now, the shampoos that I use on my natural hair and on all of my weaves, honey, is the Dove conditioner and shampoo, okay? When it comes to your shampoos and your conditioners, whether they are being used on your weaves and your units, or whether they are being used on your natural hair, try to get matching brands, okay? Because the shampoos typically will complement the conditioners if you buy them in pairs, okay? So if you're gonna buy some Dove shampoo, buy some Dove conditioner, and vice versa. Just try to buy them paired up. Try not to blend like too many, even if they're name brand, try not to blend name brand products together, because these combinations and formulas work best when they're in combination and relationship together, and they're built to complement each other when they come from the same brand. Okay, so and this so soft, so soft, so soft. And speaking of soft, you need a handy dandy spray bottle, girl. Okay, and you want to put your favorite conditioner, which I have the Dove conditioner in this, in a little water. Okay, I call this my sweet pussy juice spray bottle. Okay, you want to if you're using a lot of heat. Okay, you curling shit, you wanding shit, you waving shit, you straightening shit, and you want to preserve your weave, honey, and you don't want your damn sew in looking like a damn sew out before you apply heat, because then you motherfuckers like to be damn straightening hair on 670,000 damn degrees and then worrying while your shit is looking like a damn abandoned apocalyptic ass bird's nest in 2 fucking weeks because you done melted all the goddamn strands to fuck them down, girl. You got the life of your damn unit in the damn afterlife, bitch. Ain't nothing but the shell of your wig left on your damn head, girl. If you're gonna be frying your hair and applying all type of heat to that shit, what you wants to do is spray your hair down with some leave-in conditioner and a little water. And you don't need it drenched because you are applying heat for styling purposes, okay? So a little spray, a little conditioner, bitch. You know, spray this all over your hair. Also use a heat protected. I don't have my heat protected with me, but I use oh, I forgot the brand I use. I'll put it in the description. But use your and a little leave-in conditioner, okay? This to keep your hair soft, and this to give your hair a protective shield between the flat iron and the curling irons or whatever you're using, and you know, the weave. Now, I'm also into a lot of heatless styling, so using flexi rods is good. Using curlers, foaming lotion to get, you know, desired curl pattern is always my first suggestion. But, you know, some of the girls are too busy. They got kids, they got husbands, some of them got wives, some of them got 2 husbands, some of them got a wife, a husband, and kids. And so you ain't got time to be sitting here. So you got to throw that good convenient heat on it. But I would recommend heatless curls, okay? Heatless waves, because your weaves and your wigs will be more long lasting. Last but not least, if you're gonna be bleaching hair, definitely get you some ISO Plus. This is neutralizing shampoo. This will stop the bleaching process This is what you put on your hair when you're rinsing, draining, etc. This will deactivate all the bleach that's in the hair, and you want that because one time I did not properly neutralize some weave that I had started bleaching, and girl, that hair started turning into goddamn smoke, bitch. That weave started turning into MK11, bitch. Okay, so make sure that you use a good neutralizing shampoo and you shampoo the shit out of your bleach hair, okay? Or that sew in might be looking like a goddamn sew out sooner than you could imagine, okay? Now, what you're gonna need for this process, obviously, is your handy dandy needle and thread, okay? Also, you're gonna need combs. You can find these at beauty supply stores because you're going to be sewing them in together, obviously, because you're constructing your hair from scratch, or your wig from scratch, okay? Now, this is some kinky straight hair that I've already owned previously, okay? I bleached this hair yesterday as well. This is a really nice color. Some of the girls like wearing their hair this color. I've worn my hair before this color, but I'm going for a color, okay? And I'm going to bleach this hair one more time to lighten it up. And this is 30 inches. This hair has actually been with me for 3.5 years. I forgot the name of the company that I got this hair from, though. But this is what I mean by taking care of your weave. If you take care of your weaves, okay, your weaves will take care of you. They can be with you forever. You can remix them, give them new identities. They'll just be with you until the end of the age, just like the Holy Ghost. The Holy Ghost gave you salvation and gave you bundles, okay? They are committed to your life, hunty, okay? Hello, Walter. It sounds like you tried to put faggots in the chat. Yeah, I'm your daddy's favorite faggot, okay? Thank you for your click in the view, and I hope that you're going to enjoy this tutorial, okay? Because while you're fucking some poor boy in the ass, you're going to need to be making it up to the girl you got at home by getting her some fresh bundles, okay? She might not mind you being a closeted faggot, okay? As long as you're spending good coin on her weave, because weave soothes a pretty girl's soul, baby. What's going on to these bundles? What's going on, honey? To these bundles? That's another one of my great hair vendors, honey, okay? I'm bringing out 40 inches on the string too, okay? Get all your hair needs met by Tootie's Bundles. Black-owned businesses support this Black woman, okay? I believe that your website is complete, right, Tootie's? Follow Tootie's Bundles. You see her name in this chat. Follow her on Instagram. I'll also leave her name, her company in the description box below. What's going on, Reckless? Let me make Reckless a mod real quick. I'm about to make you a moderator. Just handle it, Reckless. Just do what y'all gotta do. You know, I don't mind the folk. I don't mind the haters in the chat, you know, but if they get on y'all nerve a little too bad, just do what y'all need to do. So I bleached this hair, turned out nice. The hair is still soft, okay? Now, what I'm gonna do from here is I'm gonna bring on my boy Reckless. Reckless, find your email and get in here. And when I see you in the background, I will bring you in, okay? And then we can get into some things from there, okay? So from here, you guys, I'm just going to start sewing. And we're just going to start talking, okay? So while we're waiting on my Reckless, what is Nubian saying? Because Walter about to get his feelings. I don't know why. Look, I don't know why they come over here and try it every now and again. I'm like, how do y'all even find my platform? Especially like, and they always find my platform when I'm doing like the gayest thing that I could be fucking doing on my platform. They never find me when I'm doing like other commentary. But it's something about download bigoted closeted niggas. Like it's an energetic thing. They always know how to sniff out the gay nigga because it's the gay in them sniffing out a very familiar ass spirit, boo. Let me read this message Walter tried to leave behind. Let me see what he said. Drags my nuts aggressively across the screen as I hear your sexy voice. I am hollering at Walter, okay? I am hollering at Walter. Walter says he's dragging his nuts aggressively across the screen as he listens to my also sexy voice. Walter, explain to me how you niggas always find me when I'm doing the gayest shit. Y'all don't never find me when I'm doing no nigga shit. Y'all don't never find me when I'm being masculine. Y'all always find my channel when I am up here flaming, cleaning out. It is so weird to me. It always happens. I left my damn wig stand at my damn grandma's house. So what's been going on out here? This is too much. Baby, the girls always find me, honey. The download knows how to find the very high-hanging fruit, honey. They be so anti-gay. They be so homophobic, but they always manage to just... Hold on. Do I see you? No, I don't see you. Let me put the hold on. I'm gonna put the invite in the, just copy and paste the invite. I'm gonna put it in the chat for you. I thought that all the invites stay the same. Baby. So we're waiting for Reckless Logic to pooch on through, honey, while I get this thread and neato together for the sewing. I hate sewing. I hate it. I mean, out of all the shit that witches and warlocks and pagans fucking create a spell for, they need to create a goddamn spell for an instant unit, bitch. And while we talking about wigs and units, let me tell y'all the difference. Okay, what I'm creating right now is a wig. It doesn't become a unit until she is styled, she is laid, and she is a living being, honey. She becomes a unit when I breathe life into her by styling her and coloring her and laying her for the gods, okay? Before that, she's just a wig, bitch, okay? A lot of motherfuckers wearing wigs, calling them units. No, man. That is a UFO on your head, honey. When you give her life and do right by that wig, that's when the wig, okay, will assume a actual identity. I see you, Reckless.
Hello.
What's going on, bro?
Nothing much. Mr. Walter, keep that shit the fuck cute in the comment section. Thank you so very much. Let's not forget that gay men created reading, and I would hate to hurt your feelings.
What is Walter going through? Like, it's like they always find me when I'm up here being a girl. They never find me when I'm being a man. Can you explain it to me? Because you just did commentary. And for those of you who don't know, this is Reckless Logic. Please introduce yourself to the audience.
Hello. My name is Stefan. My YouTube channel is called Reckless Logic. On my channel, we do a variety of things. I do commentary. I do reaction videos. I also do story times. Whatever I feel like doing at the moment. On my channel, I do a lot of talking about people's rights and justice. I do a lot of this. Sometimes I may, do other things on other platforms. So I'm just kind of, new to this YouTube scene. But however, I knew Conscious TV for a little minute now. So.
Okay, but don't be telling them all our business.
Oh, I ain't gonna tell them everything.
Oh, okay. Speaking of down low, you just did some commentary on some down low niggas. Tell us a little bit about that commentary.
So you want some tips? I know.
Well, first of all, what inspired you to make the video for one? Or was it Walter? Like, did you encounter a Walter?
Oh, I've encountered a whole bunch of Walters. But the thing is that I was always watching YouTube and stuff growing up, so I always run into those type of videos. And so when I did YouTube, I was like, I would always see a whole bunch of videos on it. And I'd be like, I would just about see the same thing. They would say, "Oh, if you're homophobe, you do," then he's probably DL. He did it. So I wanted to bring in something a little bit new. Yeah, but some of the tips and stuff were, kind of the same. But I wanted to bring in new tips on how people can tell. But I also made it clear that to put this message out there, what I never seen people do is that when you watch the video, this is not so you can go and expose somebody. This is just so you can know.
Okay, so you're not a Marquise Rivers. You're not a download detective out there, honey.
No, I ain't doing none of that. No.
Okay.
What you put out there, what you get back. That is an ass whooping wait coming your way.
So before we get into that, like, how do you feel about the download detective? How do you feel about that whole movement of setting download niggas up and exposing them?
I'm kind of 50-50 with it. Now, I know it sounds crazy when I say that, but I'm gonna explain why. Okay. I'm gonna do, of course, the obvious is that you don't want to expose nobody because, for one, that puts you in danger. The most dangerous thing, I believe that was you that said this. I could be wrong, but the most dangerous thing to do is to call a DL person gay. That you're putting your life at risk is a very dangerous thing to do when you expose somebody. Another thing is you don't know if you're putting yourself or the other person in danger because they may hurt themselves. But however, it's such a mental thing, they may hurt you. And also the reason why I really don't, I'm kind of 50-50 on it because I do believe we kind of got to a point where we protect the DL man so much, but our own people, we don't really have that same regard. So me personally, I would not expose somebody, but however, I'm not opposed to it. I'm kind of 50-50 on it. Depends on the situation.
Oh, okay. So under what circumstances would you expose a guy for being on the download?
Well, I've never really exposed somebody directly, but it was a situation and I probably should have exposed him. It was a situation where me and this dude start getting this is gonna be a story time, and this shit gets
oh God.
But
it's a good thing I ain't monetized my goddamn platform, so you motherfuckers can come up here being as ratchet as y'all want to be.
No, but
my bad.
I would say me and this dude, we ended up getting involved with each other, whatever, and everything was going good, but then he started doing stupid shit, as in like telling his friends one thing. First off, no one even knew that we even hung out, anything like that. He kind of put himself on the radar, and so his friends started to realize that we were communicating and stuff like that. They started to get suspicious, and he started to try to play me. But even then, I still spared him. But after looking at it, people told me I should have just did what I had to do, but I didn't do that. I should have, but I didn't do it.
So how did y'all meet again?
We were in class. It was like he was all okay. I'm trying not to get too deep into it, but the thing is that like.
Well, get deep into it because the girls want to know the signs and everything. So
get deep into it. All right. So one of the signs is they're staring. That's obvious, like an obvious one, but it's not like a. It's kind of like a blank stare. Like, the gays know what I'm talking about. Y'all know it's like a stare. So he kept staring at me, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like it wasn't even like a stare. Like, what the fuck, this nigga gay? It was more like he was intrigued or something. And honestly, I don't feel like I'm the baddest bitch in the world, especially when I was younger. So I'm like, what?
No, reckless logic. That's my title.
Nah, but like honestly, like he just kept staring. I'm like, what the fuck is he staring at? So that happened in middle school. Once we got to high school, we had like a class together. Now the thing is too, the eyes. That's another sign. Watch the eyes. They're gonna do all different types of things with the eyes. They're gonna look at you because the eyes are gonna pay attention to stuff that it's attracted to. You have to watch out for the big things, as in staring, but however, you gotta watch out for the little things. The little things may, when people not looking, they may wink at you. When people not looking, he may just glance at you, keep glancing at you, like constant glances and stuff. So that's what happened with me, because we was in class and he just kept, glancing at me. And once he got comfortable, he started winking at me and shit. Then I went for the kill, and I wish I never did that.
Why you regret it? Like, what happened?
The nigga tried to play me. He tried to play me. In the end,
were you not expecting him to play you? He was down low, for God's sake.
I was younger.
Oh, okay. So you was really expecting like some Romeo and Juliet
No,
shit.
not Romeo. No, okay. Even though I was young and stuff like that, I wasn't expect this ring light is like bright as hell. God damn. Hold up. Even though I was younger, I wasn't like expecting to be like, oh, relationship and stuff like that, because I knew at the time my mom and stuff like that. But the thing is that I was expecting you. I said, and I told him, I said, you know, when it comes down to anybody else, I don't give a fuck what you tell them, as long as you're gonna try to play me. But the thing is, when it comes to me and you, to be honest, it's not that far down. Like, just tell the truth. You just couldn't do it. And now that I think about it, I understand why. Because being gay, DL, bisexual, it takes a mental toll. I remember at one point in time when I couldn't even tell my stuff in the mirror I was gay because I was so, you know, think I was going against God.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't. Now I say I'm gay as fuck. Like I'll say this shit now.
So you were suffering from a lot of shame and self-condemnation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was.
Taught you? Hold on, because I'm going to be interviewing you a little bit.
Okay.
This whole thing. Okay.
All right.
What? Who taught you to be ashamed of yourself? Like, where did you get that from?
You already know where this is going. Family, the religion. That's where I got it from. Family, religion, the surrounding, being, you know, in urban, you know, neighborhoods and stuff like that. So, you know, I ain't with that gay shit. And, you know, being able to hear, especially being, well, I felt like I was obviously gay, but however, DL at one point in time, that's why I don't claim that title because I feel like everybody knew. But being DL at one point in time, being in conversations, seeing how people really think, seeing how people really think about LGBT people, that's how I was able to get an insight.
Damn. Mm-hmm. So you internalized a lot of the rhetoric and a lot of the rejection that your own community was spewing. I think that people don't know how real that is. Like,
it's very real. And the thing is that I tell people, if you want, because I tell women all the time, because one of the things that women like to say, you know, not all women that say they want a heterosexual man and stuff like that, I tell them, if you want to know the truth about somebody, you have to make it a safe space. Because for me, I'm gonna use me as an example. When I didn't have a safe space and stuff, I wasn't, when my mom finally found out I was X, Y, and Z, even though I felt like everybody knew, they just were in denial or whatever. When I finally had the conversation with her, she was like, why didn't you tell me? I said, Mom, why would I tell you? Let's be honest. You may not be a homophobe or anything like that when it comes to putting your hands on or disrespecting them directly, but let's be clear. When you talk about LGBT and stuff like that, you may get an eye roll, you may get a stuff like that. Guess who was, like, when you were saying all those harsh views and perspectives about, you know, LGBT within the house, guess who was listening? I was listening. So I already know how you feel about that. Why would I go and possibly, and I wasn't a fool, I know how, you know, kids would get kicked out or go to conversion therapy and stuff. I was not going to go through all that. That was happening. So yeah, it was a lot of, I was smarter than, you know, than that. I was like, no.
So you say she found out. So does that mean that she stumbled upon your sexuality, or you confessed to her that you were?
Both. Once I started to get older, you know, as you get older and stuff, puberty happens. So eventually she found gay porn or whatever. How
the hell she found gay porn?
It was like, I forgot exactly. It was like a couple times too. But the thing was, you know, we were in a religious household, so she wanted me to pray the gay away. And, you know, at one point in time, I was trying to pray it away. I can't believe back then I was such in that mindset of so much self-hatred and stuff like that. But yeah, she wanted me to pray the gay away. It's been a couple times she found gay porn on my phone. And after a while, I was like, at this point, it's going to be me or you. I'm not finna keep going through this thing of where me feeling like I have this hate myself just so you can be happy. What about me being happy?
But what is it about the mamas? Why they always know where the porn at? Because my mama found she found my porn in my VCR in my room. So I'm like, what led you to just randomly go in? Like, you just had this keep seeking intuition that just led you right to the nasty girl. like right to the nasty.
No, but I was gonna say the thing is, so yes, we found the gay porn, whatever, but we had an agreement that I was gonna work on it and pray the gay away, whatever. So that was going on, but then when I finally, even though I knew that was never gonna happen, that was able to get her all kind of off my back. But the thing is, now the reason why is appropriate for the knowledge that you are. Yes. So the thing is that that was just for her to kind of back up off me, give me kind of space to go my own way or whatever. But I already knew me praying the gay away was not going to happen. But then once I kind of got to a place where I kind of wanted to talk, finally have that conversation. Because here's the thing, I'm not going to be single forever. I'm going to eventually have somebody in my life. It's not going to be a woman for sure. I can tell you that much on a romantic level. But however, I'm going to have somebody romantic in my life. And I love you. I know you love me and stuff like that, regardless of our, situation. I want them to meet you. I want them to, get to know you, whatever, So we finally had that conversation. Here's the thing. We had the conversation 2 times. The first time she gave me a really bad response, and I didn't like that. We was on our way to the gym, and now the reason I could talk about this because we kind of had a conversation, we kind of resolved it mostly. But the reason why we had she was taking me to the gym. And then she asked about, what's going on with you having a girlfriend. She brings it up every once in a while, back in the day. But this particular night, I was like, I'm not really going to have a girlfriend. She was like, why? I was like, I don't like girls. That lady stopped the car in the middle of the road. When I tell you, she said, ah! I was like, what's wrong? She was like, no. And so we had this big blowout and stuff like that. And then I just told her when I felt or whatever, and then I went about my business. And I went inside the gym. She tried to call me back. I ignored her calls a couple times. Then we finally I spoke to my best friend, Megan. Me and Megan was talking about it. What she was like, give your mom some time. Yeah. I thought, work it out, whatever. So after I kind of cooled down a little bit, I talked to my mom. We kind of came, I don't really know what the agreement, but we kind of talked about it somewhat.
Yeah.
And so time went by. We were still having struggles, I would say seeing eye to eye when it came to things. But it was always like one of the things like what's the best word I'm looking for? It was kind of like awkward because it was like we both wanted to talk about it, but we didn't know how to bring it up. It was one of them things. So eventually I just kind of got to a point of, like I said before, I'm not going to be single forever. I'm going to bring somebody into my life. But however, I don't want to bring somebody into my life knowing that you're probably going to have an issue with it. So we're going to resolve this first. Once we resolve that, then that's when I'm going to openly bring somebody into my life. So I finally talked to her. I was literally in this room, this hotel room, for my job, whatever. Literally in here, and we was on FaceTime, Google Duo. We was talking. I was like,
wait, hold on. This happened recently?
Recently, yes. Because the first time happened years ago. But the thing is, it was awkward. It was awkward.
So y'all kind of just stopped talking about it, kind of just.
Yeah, no, she would bring stuff up about it, like, oh, you got a girlfriend yet? I'm like, no.
Okay, and then hold on, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. Ain't she damn near killed the both of y'all asses on the highway? Because you answered that question, so.
Oh God, yeah, but it was a struggle for her to, really digest that. I don't know why, but we finally had a conversation in depth because after that situation happened, but I would say after I started to leave religion, but I want the audience to pay attention. I say I left religion alone. I left religion, not God. That's the difference. But
over here, they know the difference.
Okay, I want to make sure because I was on a panel earlier, baby. But
hold on, what panel you was on earlier?
I was on bingo. And I was watching them, and boy, the ignorance. Jesus fix it. I'm gonna pray for our Black community. But I was gonna say that once I started to leave religion and stuff, that is when I started to go on my own journey of why I need answers, because Christianity completely, from the way they think, not spirituality but religion, is that it completely dehumanizes, disrespect, and disregard me as a human. So with that being said, I need some answers. So this is when I started to go on my own journey. I started having sexual education like a sexual education, sexuality, gender classes, and I started to ask questions. Now, this is how you know I made evolution. Like I evolved because first day in there, the lady said, "Oh, okay, introduce yourself." Da, 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 and ask me why you joined the class. Everybody tell me, my name is Tom. I joined the class for yada yada yada. My name is Sarah. I joined the class. Da, da, da. It got to me. I was like, "Hey, my name is Stefan. I'm such and such years old. My major, yada yada, and I want to know why am I the way that I am." Oh no. I said why. I want to find out what's wrong with me. Now, if people know me nowadays, they know I would never say some stupid shit like that.
Correct.
I would never say no stupid shit like that. And that I'm saying that to say this to show you how much of a mental bondage I was really in. And that's the same thing I tell people. You have to free yourself mentally before you try to free yourself physically. Like the reason why me and my mom never had that talk because I wasn't ready to have it mentally. I was not ready. Like even when she'll bring it up, like, oh no, now I'll just go about my business. And she wasn't ready too. So that's kind of like, and then I also stumbled across your videos. That's just how that worked.
Wait a minute. Back up. You stumbled across my videos. What do you mean?
YouTube. I forgot exactly how I came across your videos exactly, but I think you was in my suggestion, and so I believe at the time this is when that I hate to bring her name up, but Kim Burrell thing happened. I think that's when I found out about your videos the first time. And then that's when I started to, then I realized you had a lot of videos, so I started going through your stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever, and I started enjoying your content. That's just how it worked.
Whoa. That is interesting.
I don't think I ever told you that either. I don't think.
No, you didn't. But I'm not surprised that the Lord led you to the sanctuary. The Lord is always leading.
I tell you.
Okay. I am sewing Miss Her down. Okay. I'm starting from the back. When it comes to my pieces, I always start in the perimeter and then I sew across. Now, now, Nubian had recently said, if you see someone struggling with their sexuality, is it inappropriate to acknowledge that you already know and it's okay, or is it best to just let them come out to you on their own time? Now, I would suggest that you save all your commentary for sure, Nubian, for after they've come out. Once they've come out to you and let it be known, then yes, it's okay for you to let them know that you already knew that they liked hot dogs in their buns. Okay, the whole time you were just waiting for, Miss Ma'am, Miss Girl, clean and be comfortable. So yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Wait, I want to answer that.
Okay, go ahead and answer that.
Well, this goes back to my other point I said earlier. You have to make a safe space. So the reason why people normally have a problem coming out or having, I'm gonna say, dealing with the truth when it deals with their sexuality, I would say because they feel they want, it's like a mental thing first before a physical thing. So your mind is already wondering how people are going to react, what's going to happen with me, how people are going to treat me after. So you have to make a safe space. Because I tell people this all the time. If you really want to know, when I say really want to know, I'm talking about in a good way, not just for you to know it exposed. But if you really want to know, you have to make a safe space. So that is someone I could just say, for instance, your friend or whatever, let them know, just say like, when the conversation comes about gay people, say, hey, I'm no problem with gay friends. I have no problem with it. That'd be my bitch. You have to make little comments like that to make it a safe space so they can feel 100% comfortable and ensure that you will be, good with them.
Yeah. And I want to say to that, because a lot of people who are not mindful, well, a lot of people don't practice mindfulness. Okay. A lot of people don't feel comfortable proclaiming, a lot of people don't feel comfortable making it known that gay people can be okay around them, trans persons, those things are okay. A lot of people feel like stating that infringes upon their religious beliefs, which is not one and the same, okay? See, for me, it's all about principle. I can be a principled person, which means think about the Constitution, how the Constitution says that all men are endowed with certain inalienable rights by their given creator. Okay, that those rights are divine. Those rights are not man-made, and those rights are safety, resources, and the right to self-actualize. Now, what happens a lot of times is people feel like because they believe one thing that they can't support gay marriage, or they can't support someone who is same gender loving, but you can have both. I can give you the right to be whomever it is you decide that you're being, while also maintaining my personal beliefs, whatever they are. They don't conflict. The same way that Christians give the sinners in their life the right to sin, the right to find Christ when they feel like it on their own terms. And you can, they can have their freedom to do that, and you can also exist within your Christendom simultaneously. You can do that with any and every other person. Prime example of this is 2 years ago, the Satanists in this country were really pressuring the government to allow their monuments to be resurrected on American soil. They wanted their temples, they wanted their Baphomets, they wanted their imagery represented on American soil the way that Christianity has their churches and their Jesus and their crosses plastered everywhere. And Christians in this country, conservatives, freaked out. For me, it didn't bother me, because my attitude is what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And while I may identify as Christian, I am clear that not everybody else does. And if it's fair and it's just for me to see representations of myself in this country in the form of a church, in the form of a temple, in the form of a Jesus statue, then by American right, of course, a Satanist has the right to resurrect a temple of Satan. And I also understand why that makes motherfuckers really uncomfortable. But freedom is uncomfortable. And when you say you want freedom, you have to realize that when you seek that and desire that for yourself, that means that by default, you support everybody else's freedom too. You're not the only person allowed to be who the fuck you want to be, and to show up how you want to show up, and to do the things you want to do. That goes for all people across the board. So the Satanists didn't bother my black ass. I'm just like, even if you resurrect the temple next door to my ass, I know what Jesus I serve. I know who my God is. I ain't pressed about your God. So build away, honey. Resurrect away, honey. Like, do what you do, honey.
I think what it is, and the same thing you're saying, is that I think people are confusing my beliefs with something that you have to do. And I think that's the thing that people get confused. Like, they have this idea, is just, I believe that, so I should do it, which is cool. But the thing is, where they get it mixed up is that I believe that, so you should not do that. That's where the issue come in at, because that's like me being on a diet and you get it, and I'm getting mad at you because you ate a donut. Bitch, what the fuck? No, that doesn't make any sense. No, if it's not hurting nobody, if it's not really doing anything, then no, it shouldn't be a problem. Just don't do it. You just don't do it.
Look,
other people out there do it.
Yeah, like what someone else eats should not make you shit. Okay. But see, a lot of people just feel like they're disrespecting God. Like they feel like if I say that I accept gay people, I'm pissing off God. No, you're not, because the scriptures say to love thy neighbor as you love yourself. It don't say to love your Christian neighbor as you love yourself. It don't say to love just your American neighbor as you love yourself. It just says love your neighbor, whomever the fuck your neighbor may be. Show them the same courtesy, the same kindness, the same dignity and respect that you would want shown to you, whomever your neighbor is. So So hold on, because I just want to make this clear, because I know that believers really struggle with this idea, or this thin line between accepting the LGBT community and also holding to their personal spiritual and religious truths. You can have both. God. Look, you have Christ is literally supporting everyone in the scriptures. He's amongst all the people who the religion of his day is telling him not to be and to judge. He's saying the greatest commandment of them all is love, because ultimately, this is what you got to remember for those of you who are struggling to accept that gay relative, or struggling to accept that gay child, or to accept the LGBT community as a whole. The scriptures say that at the end of the day, every man must work out his or her own soul salvation. So you've got to realize and be humbled enough to fall the fuck back and let people be judged by the only person who can judge them, which is God. It's not you. It's not you. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with respecting people and their right to journey their life how they want. You chose Christ because that was a choice of faith for you. For you. That other person has a right to choose what they want for themselves, just like you chose what you wanted. So there is no struggle. You can love and support people's protection and people's rights, while also personally holding to whatever biblical belief you have about the matter. They don't contradict. Matter of fact, I mean, Christ is telling you to mind your goddamn business throughout scripture. Mind the business that pays you. Okay, that pays you. But go ahead.
I remember, because like I said, I was on this panel earlier. Now, for those who don't know, Bingo Live, that's an app. Some of y'all may know something. Baby, I was going through panels or whatever. And normally I don't get on them, but I went on one time or whatever. But I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about just a few hours ago. I was just so happened to, of course, go on a panel, not on it, but view the panel. And they're talking about LGBT. So, I'm all ears. I'm just listening. Because now, one thing I've gotten myself into, if I'm going to be up here trying to be an advocate, trying to have conversations, tough conversations as well, I have to be able to hear the other side. One of the things I always tell people, I don't want to listen to no bullshit. So I get annoyed when I hear stupid shit, realistically. But however, I have to get used to hearing other people's side perspective. Because if you want to be able to refute, you have to know what the hell you're refuting. So they were talking all types of LGBT, anti-life, all this, and then on top of that, they were cussing, showing all types of homophobia, transphobia, patriarchy, all those type of things, and the woman was participating in patriarchy. And the thing is that they were talking about the Bible too. I'm like, my thing is, how you expect you're going to get into heaven with all this type of phobias on you? You really think you're going to make it?
They do.
That's the messed up thing about it. The host was looking like Boosie, acting like Boosie, sounding like Boosie.
Ow, I'm screaming. Wow.
His mouth was full of gold, had slob all in his mouth. He was, baby, bro. It was a lot. I was like, and like, it was really sad to me, like how people was really thinking. And I'm like, because they was talking about black community and stuff, the conversation, LGBT, black community agendas and shit. So it was like, this man literally said out his mouth, it was a panel of them, but it was the host. He literally said out his mouth, he was like, if they're gay, they cannot be part of the black community or whatever. That's why he said we discard us. I was like, how the hell you for black people? And I wish I was able to screen record and stuff so people could actually see that this stuff still exists. Like some people, I remember I was talking to people about homophobia stuff, but this shit don't exist. I'm like, okay. All right.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of people. Well, I mean, I guess the same thing for racism. At one point in time, motherfuckers thought that was over too. Lo and behold, not the case. No, actually, due to the Trump administration, hate crimes against LGBT people have actually tripled since this administration. So all this violence upon trans bodies, violence upon same-gender loving women and same-gender loving men's body. Yeah, that shit is. Of course, that shit is real. Like, the thing about it, well, first of all, I always holler like when the thugs and the bonitas of the damn community be wanting to quote goddamn scripture. Bitch got 10 bodies behind her, done served hardcore federal time, and want to be quoting the goddamn scriptures to somebody else. I'd be screaming.
I'd be like, what the heck? And the thing was, normally I probably would have went on the panel and tried to have a conversation, but he was like, before I even got on there, he basically made it clear. He said, if any gay person come on my panel, I'm kicking them off. So I was like, I already had no chance even going on the panel, even trying to have a conversation. Because my thing is, I have no problem having a conversation. I wouldn't get annoyed because I evolved from me getting annoyed from such situations like that. But my thing is, it's no point in you trying to have conversations about trans people and LGBT when there's no trans or LGBT, a variety of trans and LGBT people on the panel. That's like us. That's like me and you talking about women's rights and being 100% serious about women's rights and going all in depth without no women around. At least give into a perspective. Because here's the thing too, is the reason why I said various women and various LGBT and trans people. Just because you're trans or just because you're LGBT does not mean you don't harbor that idea, the ideology of internalized homophobia, transphobia. Because a lot of women participate in patriarchy. I've met a few, and that shocked the hell out of me.
And it's a lot of gay men who participate in transphobia and anti-queerness and the likes. Yeah.
Yes, I was like, But I actually listened, but I didn't hear nothing new. They procreation, anti-life, whatever.
Look, I don't want to hear that anti-life bullshit. Like that shit is so damn dumb and retarded and stupid. First of all, I don't know where this belief that gay people don't have children come from. Gay people can still have children and have plenty of their own God-given children. Gay people also adopt the children that straight people throw the fuck away. Okay,
I'm finna this is what I think. Because people always talking about, well, we can't have kids, yada. This is what I think.
No, hold on. We can't. Bitch, my dick still works. Gay and all.
Gay people still
a lesbian's pussy still works. Lesbian and all. A trans person's genitals. Matter of fact, a lot of black trans women and a lot of black lesbian and queer men have children.
Like, okay, so this is what I think I told you this before. But the reason why, because people always try to speculate while we're here, whatever. So this is just a speculation. This is just my theory. I could be wrong. Disclaimer. So my theory of why gay people exist is because I think we're here to create balance. I think because it's the same thing. Since people love to go on this idea of God don't make no mistakes, let's go with that idea. Because I was just thinking. I was like, since God doesn't make any mistakes, we have the sexuality or whatever, we're not attracted to the opposite sex to quote unquote procreate, even though we still have the ability to. I know you can't do right now, but I'm just gonna say it. But I feel like we're here to create balance. Only because we're not what? Okay.
I'm listening.
No, interject. You'll be cringing up. Okay, so I think we're here to create balance. I feel like it's the same thing like with women. Why some women aren't have given the ability to carry kids. Just imagine if everybody can have kids, we'll be overpopulated like a motherfucker. That's just the honest truth. That's just my theory. It may change tomorrow. It may change somewhere down the line. That's just my theory. This is not a fact.
I'm going to challenge that theory. So I'm going to challenge that theory.
And also take care of the kids that people don't want.
Yeah, I'm going to challenge that theory.
Let's challenge it. Let's see. Okay. Can I defend that theory? This is a theory.
I've heard like that theory from a lot of other same gender loving people, and it does sound cute on the surface, but it just doesn't really work because same gender loving people only make up less than 1% of at least the U.S.'s population to begin with. So even if gay people were out here having kids left and right, I mean, it would never contribute to overpopulation because we barely make up the literally barely make up the population to begin with. But I will say that I also think that finding an explanation is also like that's the ego's need. Like I have and I know that those of us who are just coming to accept ourselves, we kind of need, you know, these explanations and these theologies to really support and justify to other people why we're valuable. But we need to realize that we're even doing that to prove something to someone else. The God-given truth is, I actually don't have to explain a motherfucking thing about the way that I am. Bitch, I am what I am. And as much as you might make what I am your business, it's in fact not your fucking business. But if you want to make it your business and be invested in making queer people's business or anybody's business your business, that is your right and your business to do. But it's not your business. And I think that same gender loving people need to stop biting the apple and let people work. Let the ignorant motherfuckers work that shit out. Let them work it out, honey. But don't soothe their ass. Don't cater to their ass. Don't try to justify shit to their ass. Just continue to show up unapologetically, and eventually common sense and a 1+1 factor will actually set in motion. But the more explanations we actually give them to justify to them why we're okay and why we should be here, the more that it actually feeds the cesspool of debating, because they're going to debate every explanation. They're going to debate every fucking theory. As much as heterosexual people have contributed to all of the ills of the world, whether that be the Holocaust, whether that be September 11th, whether that be slavery, whether that be the world wars, whether that be the inquisitions, whether that be the goddamn dark ages of the church, straight people need to be asking them themselves, what actually is the purpose of y'all motherfuckers being here? Before we even get to the gays, bitch, what have we worked out what y'all's purpose is to begin with? But for me, I've transcended an explanation. God can create without you having to understand. I think that we're in a very privileged ass country, and we are afforded understanding so much that we actually expect understanding before we can greenlight something, when the God-given truth is understanding is a luxury. It's not a necessity. There are plenty of things on this planet, plenty of things happening in this life that is without zero fucking explanation. Okay? But it is. It done self-actualize. It done manifested. It's staring us in the face, and we don't know what the fuck we're looking at. And that thing is looking back and without no explanation. So creation, the father, the mother, the creator, doesn't have to explain nothing. The creator is first and foremost doing what it does best, creating. Fuck explaining, just creating. Being creative, okay? So as far as I'm concerned, straight, gay, or trans, these are just manifestations of God's creativity. Human beings are one of God's most unique creations because we have souls. Oh my God, we're so individual. That's so... I mean, what you're going to get out of a soul every time a soul is born, it's going to be very different from the rest of the population. Every single soul is like a snowflake. It has its own identity. It's in its own design, its own personal function. So this whole understanding thing, I mean, I wipe my ass with it. So go ahead.
And it's funny that you say that, because that's where I am now. I came up with that theory or whatever. That's when I was trying to find out and get answers, because I didn't have the resources when I was first leaving religion to get any type of answers of, you know, what's going on, or me saying that stupid ass statement, what's wrong with me and stuff like that. So that's where that came from. So.
No, I get it. I mean, I think the explanations are fun. I think that ruminating over why we here and what our purpose is and what we contribute, I think that there's a place for those conversations. But I don't like that queer people only get to have those conversations from a place of trying to stop the violence perpetuated upon them, because it almost suggests that
Since I'm valid, now you can't hurt me or whatever.
Because there is no explanation, you are under the impression that your behavior towards me is just because you don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
And your behavior is not just, whether you understand it or not. You know how many people I went to school with who were different, or how many people I encounter in public who are very different, look very different, are very eccentric. Like it or love it, that person gets to be whomever they are, and you get to also not like it. But you
Yeah.
don't get to make someone else uncomfortable because you don't understand, or you don't get to bully someone else because they don't fit your model citizen bullshit. You
That
don't get
privilege.
to infringe or project onto a person and then be intrusive in their life because you lack personal understanding. Actually, be whom your mother raised you to be. And once again, mind the business that pays you, because it don't cost you nothing, sugar. It really don't.
And I finally got to that point because I was like, why? Because even then I was having the same. I'm like, why is it that we have to always find out why we're valid, but however, heterosexual cisgender people never have to find out the reason why they're valid. You get what I'm saying? It's always like we trying to find a reason to give them reasons to know why we exist, but yet they don't give us reasons why they exist. Of course, they give us the whole thing. We procreate, we do this, da, da, da. Well, then what about the women and men that can't procreate? What about that? So it's a lot of loopholes into your theories into those.
Man, I mean, religion has really fucked our humanity up, to be honest. It caused us to really even reduce all of ourselves to our biology, to reduce ourselves to our humanness. And here it is, all the world religions are actually saying that you are something much more than your own body. And here it is, we're justifying ourselves by our bodily functions rather than justifying ourselves by our spiritual function and our spiritual identity. What I carry around with me is the identity of the divine that dwells in me. That divinity is expressed to you all through me being a living being who can consciously communicate and come into expression. The fact that you are conscious, the fact that I am conscious is so fucking sacred. It's so divine, so supernatural. And it goes over our heads because we spend time identifying as male and female and black or white, American, gay, straight, Christian, non-believer. Do you realize that you are a mystery wrapped up in flesh?
That, like that airhead.
You walking around consciously alive, and you never thought, what? How am I aware? What is this awareness? Who is the me that is looking through the eyes of my life? What is this that allows me to be aware of my existence? This phenomenon is truly unique to humanity because monkeys don't contemplate their own existence. Dolphins don't contemplate their own existence. Dogs don't contemplate their own existence. Only mankind has the ability to actually contemplate himself, to reflect upon himself, to actually be philosophical in his view of the world. This is literally the function of the creator. And here we are identifying as straight and fucking gay. My God.
We're trying to find a balance because it's I don't know. I really don't know. But what I will say, I love talking to you because it's like when I talk to you, it's like when
because I'm sexy and I'm smart.
This nigga. It threw me off. Okay, so wait. Okay, yeah, I like talking to you because even though you've passed those stages in your life, it's like sometimes when you speak and stuff, it's like you sometimes you speak to where I am in life directly. Because at one point in time, when you said, we're the only ones that contemplate our existence and stuff like that. I remember one time I forgot what happened exactly, but I was contemplating what happens to my soul after this life is done. Like, what happens to my soul? Because the thing is, we don't remember nothing that happened before, but we remember now. Question is, what happens? Like, what happens to our life, our consciousness? What happens to it? So, you know, you really do be touching on things that I really do dealing with.
I mean, but let's kind of go there a little bit. Well, before we go there, because that might take us down a whole nother rabbit hole, and we are having a rabbit hole type of a dialogue. Can you read some of the comments, and can you start with a Nubian goddess statement? I agree, and then actually go up because other people been writing. Can you start with
Nicole?
Nicole, yes.
Okay. So when my son came out, I waited and told him I knew. Just wanted him to feel safe and comfortable and know I loved him. Right under it is MJ Harris said his mom forced him to come out to her, but the way she did it was very supportive and let him know he could trust her. You would have to do it with love, that key word, love, if you're going to do it. Nubian says, you're right, fair is fair. I don't think I have to read that one. Nubian goddess says, I agree. I'm learning to be okay with not understanding or having an explanation for everything in life. I recently just learned, well, not recently, but some time ago, I learned that. You shouldn't even have to explain why you're valuable and deserve basic human respect. We talked about that on the phone, Conscious. This person says, I was married twice and had 3 kids because I was trying to do the right thing because of religion. Do you? I think that right there deserves, because you want to know why? I got a thing on here. One of the things I want to talk about, because I don't know if you're going to go too far left, is respectability politics. What is your definition of respectability politics?
Respectability politics are a group of standards created by a given community that references our personal conduct, our social conduct amongst one another. It could be the way we dress, it could be the way we talk, it could be, the way, like, whatever it is, but it's a given standard of ideas, a given standard by a community about social conduct.
Okay. So my question to you, because I already know you're probably going to go with this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. My question to you, who do you feel like is affected more, men, women, or both?
Respectability politics.
Yeah, respectability politics. Who are affected more, men, women, or both?
To be honest, they both really run a tight race in terms of.
I knew it. In terms
of, they both run a tight race, but I would have to give it to women. But men are running. But men ain't that far behind.
No, they're not. They're not.
Ain't that far behind.
You want to know what made me say that?
So
we know. For people who don't know, but I like to do reaction videos, whatever. So I did a reaction video to WAP. Wet ass pussy, big park deck, big metro, all that. So for me, I'm pro-whole, pro-life, whatever, pro-choice, whatever. You do what you will do, what makes you happy. As long as you don't try to, tell somebody else what to do or try to get in somebody else's way, anything like that. Whatever, do what makes you happy. So I like to watch reaction videos. So I was watching reaction videos to WAP. And I noticed that with respectability politics and other things like religion and all those things that contribute to that, is that I noticed with WAP. Now I do understand some people don't like raunchy music, but it got to a point I realized a pattern when I saw, certain people watching the video and hearing the song. The one thing I kept noticing is that women would be so quick to turn it off because I guess when we've got to a place where, what's the best way I can say this? Women feels like they can't embrace sex. Like they've been conditioned to not embrace sex. So when they hear wet ass pussy on the radio or even in a song, it makes them cringe. But no one keep in mind too, no one ever cringed when the guy was in the background talking about there's some hoes in this house, there's some hoes in this house. Because it's a normal thing, quote unquote. But then when Cardi was on wet ass pussy, they're like, oh, turn this off. So I do believe women do suffer. I do agree with you. They do suffer more when it comes to respectability politics because if you don't cook and clean, you can't get a husband. And the thing is, I'm gonna also say this too, and I'm gonna let you talk because I know you have a lot come from me. But the thing is this is that when it comes to cooking and cleaning and stuff like that, I have no problem with men saying, no, I'm don't have the cringe, I got you. But the thing is, when it comes to cooking and cleaning, I don't have a problem with men saying they want a wife or a person that cooks and cleans and stuff like that. But the thing is that when you watch the reaction videos, anything like that, men are not coming from a place of, oh, I want both of us to cook and clean for each other. They want this coming from a place of, I want you to cook and clean because guess what? You're the woman. That's what you're supposed to do. Let's put in context. Reason why women cook and clean is because they weren't allowed to have jobs. That's the reason why women were cooking and cleaning, and that was their primary role because the guy will have the job, take care of the financial, whatever needs to be done. The woman would take care of the kids in the house. That's how it worked. But since things are changing, you women are out here running businesses, building empires. It's going to have to be a 50-50 thing. And so the reason I said that is because also women were having an issue to, oh, she don't cook, she don't clean, da, 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 da. Even though you shouldn't take it literal, but still. So how do you feel? I know you're going to have...
Ask me a question specifically.
Okay, so when it comes down to women, we're going to start with women first, then we're going to get into men. When it comes down to women, what respectability politics do you think affect them? Exactly.
Oh my God. Every last single one of them fucking affects them. I mean, look, we're all impacted by all of that bullshit because all of it creates like a social order that we're all responding to, irregardless of like who is being projected upon. Like just like women, like if religion says that a woman needs to be fully dressed, she needs to always be very modest, no makeup, skirts down to her ankles. As a man, even though those respectability politics they're not about me, they still impact me because my sense of your beauty now is going to be shaped by whatever beauty standard is put upon you. So if that's natural right now, that's what turns, et cetera, et cetera. So respectability politics impact everybody because we all interact and kind of feed off of each other. So all of that. Now, when it came to WAP, I'm not going to say that WAP was the most fucking... Oh, thank you so much. I
forgot I had cake. I got cake. I forgot I had cake over here.
See, I don't cook. I don't clean. But let me see how I got this ring.
I need a hard deep stroker. Henny drinker, weed smoker. I know the whole verse. I know the whole song actually.
Father God in heaven, that be thy name. Thy kingdom come.
Now, when it comes down to women,
yes, God.
Like when it comes down to women, I do be trying to talk to them about respectability politics and stuff like that. Like one of the things is that the body count thing. Like I be like sometimes I ask my friends, "What's your body count?" They be lying about their body count. I be like, "Girl, just tell the truth." It's like you're a human being. You like to have sex. You're not numb. You have emotions. You have feelings, hormones. I really dislike when I see women, and this is just me just saying, I don't like to see women, I feel be trapped by the respectability politics because a woman, if you ask them, what's your body count, whatever, they kind of hesitate. If they do answer, they hesitate, they kind of slow up on trying to answer it. Ask a man, oh, da, 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 da. And I feel like it kind of trap them in a way. Because sometimes I'll be talking to my friends, I'll be like, there's nothing wrong with you having sex. If you want to have sex, have sex. You get? That's with me personally. Now with men, What do you think?
I'm gonna be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I barely heard anything you said because this plate got 90% of my damn attention. But you about to say men. Go ahead. I'm listening.
I ain't gonna flex this cake too. But all I was gonna say is that with men, what do you feel like the respectability politics that affect men? Exactly. Examples. If you
All
know.
of, but look, I mean, one respectability politics going on now that I can't stand is this whole, like I remember when baggy clothes was like really a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Child, and it was driving the older generation crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They just felt it was so disrespectful for your pants to be hanging off your ass.
Mm.
You just got your pants hanging
Don't
all
tell
off
me
your ass. It even got to the point where they were trying to push legislation men who were wearing, who were sagging their pants. Now we all know who that's a legislation would have most impacted. Obviously, it would have been black men.
Mm-hmm.
That's a aesthetically, like that's a cultural thing for black men.
Mm-hmm.
Is baggy clothes. And I just could not get over this idea that because it got so extreme that when those type of boys would find trouble or trouble would find them, they would have a run-in with an officer, or they were mistreated on their jobs, or they were discriminated against in a hiring process. People would justify the treatment because of the aesthetic. Like,
logic.
and I'm just like,
logic.
how are you going to burden the victim with, you want to burden the victim when it comes to respect. Respect is not on behalf of the victim who's being disrespected. The burden is on behalf of the one doing the disrespecting.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one doing the disrespecting. And somebody does choose to wear the jeans, they work their ass off to be hanging off their ass. That's still a whole human being underneath those all the baggy ass clothes. Just like a woman, when men turn around and justify raping a woman because she was dressed promiscuously.
Like what Nubian said, workplace politics are a struggle for me as a woman. I was told you're too direct, you focus too much on your work, and don't engage with others. If I was a male, that work ethic would be celebrated. It's like it's double standards to it.
Oh man,
double standards. It doesn't benefit. There's no benefits to it.
Yeah, because a woman is to be motherly, extroverted, attainable, and a caretaker. She's always to have a polite demeanor. She's never able to be strong, to be resilient, and to be introverted. That makes her suspect if she is.
Oh, baby.
What?
No, one of the things that irks me really now with the respectability politics, and I know I might piss some people off, I don't know, but this head of household thing, the whole point of being in a relationship, marriage, is so you guys can be one. It's not I'm sorry, this is my theory on it. People gonna probably disagree. It's just the whole thing of I don't believe you should let a man lead just because he has a dick in between his legs. What's like that? No, y'all are together. It's compromise. Y'all work together. It's not he just what he say goes. No, I don't know. No, that doesn't sit right with me. Then again, it's probably just me. So,
You know what's so funny?
What's that?
I don't mind a lot of the gender roles, but what I hate is when the ego gets ingrained and gets like attached to these gender roles, because what it then starts doing is making people identify with the role instead of understanding that the role is completely superficial. It has a superficial purpose, and it has because it's only for the means of being practical. Like if the man happens to be the breadwinner, obviously his role is to bring home the bacon. You balance that by taking care of home or the kids, etc., and vice versa. If the woman is the breadwinner, you domesticate the space, take care of the kids, etc. While my big mama goes home, and she goes out and bring the bacon home.
I be telling them.
But because people's egos and identities are wrapped up into these politics, women struggle within themselves. When they make more money, they feel a way about themselves because they know that men are going to feel a way about that, and men feel a way about it when they're not bringing the monetary to the relationship as well. And it's a shame that people are literally defining themselves based upon systems and ideas. It doesn't say anything about a man because your woman makes more money and you run the household at home.
It says nothing.
Look, I have been the breadwinner in every last single one of my relationships. Every last single one of them. Now, I'm versatile. Most of the men that I attract are very masculine men, okay? Because they like all the androgynous and they like the pretty and the handsome and they like all that carrying on. So I've been in relationship to a lot of masculine, gay and bisexual men. And they've struggled too because a lot of gay people bring in a lot of heteronormative behavior to same gender loving relationships, and it doesn't work. It doesn't even work for straight people. It damn sure ain't gonna work for us.
Yep.
And my whole thing was I was out here bringing home the bacon, and my nigga was at home insecure as fuck. And I'm like, you doing that to yourself, bruh, because I ain't got an issue with you bringing what it is you do bring to the table. This is just simply what I bring to our table. What you bring to the table is equally valued too, but you got to get over all this social indoctrinated bullshit that then came from a toxic ass, wounded ass community that's been trying to compensate for a lot of fucking disturbance within their own goddamn psyche. And now you with me in an actual healthy relationship, and you can't even just simply enjoy the fact that you done found you a nigga who can bring home the fucking bacon, find that you with a nigga who can fucking hold the fork down. But Rome wasn't built in a day because Rome wasn't built alone. So I need you as much when it comes to the infrastructure as you need fucking me. So, but you got to get clear about that. And he wasn't able to. That nigga struggled with those insecurities and struggled with insecurities, and it ate away at our relationship. And we had to end up going our separate ways. And it was just fucking ridiculous. Over what, nigga? Over what? Over what? And black women go through the same dynamic.
Yeah.
They're the CEOs. They're the bad bitch, the boss bitch. And these insecure ass niggas won't give a bitch a break. They want a woman to downsize in order to for their fragility, for their male fragility. And a woman shouldn't have to come down. How about, oh, you know what, nigga? If you feel that insecure, how about you find a way to come up, bitch? I ain't coming down. I done work from the bottom up, bitch. If anybody gonna come anywhere, you coming up here. I'm not about to downplay myself. But the issue, once again, is when women identify strongly with the politics and it becomes a part of their identity, and when men strongly identify with the politics and it becomes a part of their identity, instead of them both realizing these are just practical means to us forming a healthy relationship. It doesn't matter who's playing what role as long as the roles are fulfilled. It doesn't matter who's fulfilling them, long as they're fucking fulfilled. It only becomes toxic and an issue when the motherfuckers, once again, when they personalize the roles. Because now that we swapped out, I'm having a fucking ego death. My fucking mental and emotional identity is fucking collapsing because I'm a man and I'm not supposed to be the submissive one or the domesticated one. And it's fucking dumb. So a lot of people like, once again, I don't have a problem with the politics themselves, but it's the way that we engage the politics that make them destroy. Somebody do got to bring home the bacon, and somebody has to fucking take care of home. Somebody got to do it. It's a 2, 3 person, 4 person responsibility, but I'm not, to make it more than that. I'm just a breadwinner. It doesn't mean I have the power in a relationship. It doesn't matter I'm the King Kong in a relationship. Like that does, but when we let it mean all that, when we give in to the temptation to let it be all that, that's when we're gonna have issues. So people just gotta be clear. This role is just that. It's just a role, and it's designed to bring practicality to order, to bring order to chaos. That's it. It don't got nothing to do with me as a man or you as a woman. It's just people doing what the fuck they got to do to navigate life. That's it. Had nothing to do with our truth.
Baby, I'm so glad you gave that, because this goes right into my next question. It goes right next. It's flowing. It's flowing. Now, before I give the question, I'm going to read off Eric. For those who don't know, Erica De Niro TV. I 100% recommend go watch her channel. Very informative. This is what she wrote, I believe, on Twitter. She says, "Why do you define your masculinity and manhood based on a woman submitting their will or authority to you? And why is your masculinity threatened by a woman who takes the lead? Why is your existence dependent on her behavior?" So my question to you, do you believe women should be submissive to their man?
Somebody might not like this answer.
You're going to say yes. You bet not.
I think that
they should be submissive to each other, compromise.
2 people are to be perfectly submissive to one another. That's the only way that it works. There's no way that a woman who's emotionally available can engage in a relationship that's healthy for her to a emotionally unavailable individual. It always requires both people to be equal givers and contributors to the relationship. Now, we don't have to equally give the same thing, but we got to both equally give whatever portion we have to the relationship. So, but see, once again, talking about that patriarchy, talking about how religion co-ops patriarchy and collaborates with patriarchy to form these social standards and these respectability politics and these social norms and these gender roles and all this shit that only ends up actually making things more complicated, because once again, these roles are only for the sake of practicality. They only for the sake of allowing our egos to work together. But we're souls.
You always hit it right on. I'm about to talk. You always hit it right on the head. The nail right on the head. Because I was telling somebody, I was like, people who don't know what I'm referring to, I'm referring to Jeannie Mine. The girl that used to be on the Real. No, she's still on the Real. Her, the one that's like with Yeezy or whatever. So when she first time I heard it was with Fantasia. This time with her. The thing is, it's not the whole thing of you being submissive to your man, but the thing is, the energy behind it is coming from you must be submissive because you're the woman, but it's not, the energy is not the whole thing of we both, keyword both, have to be submissive to each other. That's the thing. We both have to be submissive to each other. And that's why I be trying to tell my friends, because they do suffer from certain things like these ideologies and stuff. I'm like, yo, no. And then y'all wonder why men treat y'all the way that they do. This is the reason why they treat y'all like y'all property. This is the reason why I'm in rough words. This is the reason
I get it.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it because
I get it.
Conversations and I'm in spaces where when women aren't around, they talk about y'all like property. Best believe I be in that defending y'all. I be in that bit. No, don't be doing that. But however, it's the whole thing. These are the ideas that groom the men that you guys want to sleep with. That we want to sleep with, because gay men So you know, like that's the thing. Like, like they, and it really kills me because they really think they're not doing no woman no harm. I'd be like, you know, you just treated her like she was damn property. You know, right? Like, you need to submit to me, bitch. This ain't slavery. The fuck? I need to compromise, be together.
Or we need to submit to each other.
Yeah.
But men are feel entitled because they've been programmed to expect that. They've been taught to expect that, and women have been trained to meet men's expectations. So you
look like this so you can get a man. Act like this so you can get a man. You know?
say that again.
No, because I was imitating people saying you have to look like this to get a man. You have to act like this to get a man, or the whole idea of a woman can't keep a man. Maybe she just don't want his bitch ass. Maybe she don't have to keep him.
Funny. Them type of statements make me cringe so much because once again, it's just that patriarchal, misogynistic, double standard bullshit where you put women in a position to atone for every fucking thing in reality. So now it's the woman's fault that the man wasn't faithful. He used his God-given right to be unfaithful. It ain't got nothing to do with good pussy. And matter of fact, the bitches who get cheated on the most frequently are it is the good pussy bitches. Because and what men don't want to admit is that they try to control women's sexuality because they have no control over their fucking own. They have none over their fucking own. And men will go out and commit every sexual atrocity and judge you for the one too many niggas who think through you.
I know that's right.
And it's a crock of total bullshit. It's a total crock of bullshit. I forgot where I was.
Men try to control women's sexuality, but because they can't control
women's sexuality, like let these niggas atone for their own sins, baby. If you step out, if you lie, matter of fact, that's gonna lead us into one of my topics. This whole idea of people being used, because this came up on the gentleman's panel. I think last week when I was talking about we were talking about men or something, and I think you had to choose between a stable partner or a partner who got a good looks. And I said I'm choosing the good looks.
Oh yeah, I said you was like 100%. That shit had me dying. I was thinking the same thing too, man.
I mean, I was literally just kind of being sarcastic.
I know.
And being funny, but it ended up creating a conversation around how good-looking men, like a man without stability, is trash. And so that led me to making the argument that stable men are also trash as well. Some of the most disrespectful, dishonorable men are the ones with stability and power, because they oftentimes try to control their partner through what they have. They try to control their partner with their success, their prestige, their status. My argument was, when I go to consider someone as a partner, I don't even think about stability per se, because to me, those things are interchangeable. Those things have nothing to do with who you are as a person, what you can do in this life. You can be not stable today and be a fucking millionaire in 5 years. You could be jobless and unemployed today and be a fucking CEO or a entrepreneur and own your own fucking business in 2 years. So for me, I don't reduce human beings to fucking where their stability is at this God-given point. If everybody in this fucking world had chosen their mate based upon where they mate was at the time that they met, I'm not even sure we would even have half the goddamn couples that we have.
Yes, thank you, bitch. We here, bitch. We here. I see you.
Like, but a lot of that comes from the way that I was raised. My mother was a very independent woman.
Mm-hmm.
Her being with my stepdad, that was just an added bonus. But my mama ran the household. My mama paid the bills. And when my stepfather was off or doing his fuck shit, nothing changed in our reality because mama had it. Mama had it. So me watching that, growing up under that, I never made whether I'm your friend about, oh, does Reckless Logic have a car? Is he a college graduate right now? Or I've never even thought to consider my romantic partners and their stability because I've been raised to focus on my own stability. Bitch, as long as I got it, I ain't pressed about whether you got it or not. And I'm gonna fuck with you because I fuck with you, or not fuck with you because I'm not gonna fuck with you. And this whole idea that people can use you. Let me tell you something about people who get used. The only people who get used are people who are giving away what they not comfortable giving away. But a bitch who's clear about what they giving cannot be used because I'm only gonna give you what the fuck is in my heart to give you. And what I'm giving you ain't got shit to do with whether you appreciate it, whether you value it, whether you gonna stick around, because it didn't even come from, because it ain't even coming from that place. It ain't even coming from a place of trying to buy your attention, trying to buy your love. It's coming out of me, okay? And I'm only giving you what I desire to give you. And I'm a grown ass man. I'm not stupid enough to ever give no fucking body anything that's going to cost me an issue in my stability. Okay? I can't be used because I'm clear about being a giver and my capacity to give. It ain't got nothing to do with you, boo.
You better preach, bitch.
But that's why a lot of people also don't understand why I have a capacity to forgive a lot of shit. People be like, because I've had, my ex was a cheater, he was a liar, he was a manipulator, he was a narcissist, he was all of that shit. But the reason why I was able to stick around 5+ years was because my love wasn't about his ass. So that means that just like he couldn't do nothing to make me love him, his ass couldn't do nothing to not make me fucking love him because it wasn't about him. Bitch, I loved you for me, not for you. And when I didn't want you, and when I was done, and when I was tired, and when God removed that love, that's when I removed myself.
Question.
That's how that works. Okay.
Question. So do you think that since, people being able to, hopefully I can quote this right, it just slipped my mind. People
take your time.
Well, I'm trying to think of it. Usually I have my little notes over to keep me on track, but I'm doing this by the brain, and my mind just go real quick. Okay, so do you think people who have the same ideology and stuff like that, do you think that makes them more?
What ideology?
Of like, because you say you're able, basically on your explanation of love and stuff like that, you said that's the reason why you were able to forgive a lot of stuff. So do you think that is the reason why, or do you feel like that's probably the reason why people who have similar ideologies endure more pain, emotional pain? Do you think that?
Well,
if I've worded it right.
Well, no, I think I understand. Well, first of all, the most hurt people on the planet are people who are actually loving. All these people who act like, it should be nothing to leave someone who's disrespectful or someone who's abusive. It should be nothing to do that. Are saying that from the context of not truly really being present in that love. Because when you actually love someone, see, a love is a resistant force. So that means that you can throw a lot of things at love, and love may bend, but it don't fucking break. So we out here calling people stupid and naive and gullible who are actually just being successful at motherfucking love, because love is that resistant. Now, I'm not also saying that love should be without wisdom, because you also should love yourself enough to not let any harm come to you. But You get to decide what that harm is. If you staying with a motherfucker who cheating on your ass all motherfucking year, but bitch, you can withstand it. It ain't taking nothing away from your drive and from your motivation and from your productivity every day, and you able to sustain your responsibilities. If that ain't what's breaking you, then baby, more glory to you. My only advice is going to be when it starts to hurt, when it starts to cost you to be with that motherfucker, that's when you cue it. Because I had a friend who was with a ratchet motherfucker. This nigga was dog walking his ass for 2-3 years in a relationship. It got to at first, before I grew and evolved as well, at first I would try to talk him out of the relationship when he would call me for rescue. But then I started to realize that he wasn't leaving this man because he wasn't done loving him. He wasn't done loving him. He wasn't done loving him. So then my approach stopped being trying to talk him out of it. I started trying to help him to figure out, what do you believe is actually wrong? Why are you guys not actually getting along? What are the issues that keep coming up? What are the alternatives and remedies to being able to help you guys better communicate, to get along? And that made my experience and my support, first of all, it made it easier for me to be his friend by just supporting him in what I already knew he wanted to do any fucking way. But that also didn't mean endorsing any reckless behavior, because I'm able to support you, but take the approach of trying to help you to navigate these issues. Because since you want these problems, I'm going to be your friend and try to help you solve them. I'm not going to make what you're going through about me, because I understand the depth and the resistance of love, for one. So it's going to be what it's going to be. Hopefully, when we talk and we communicate about you and your man's problems, you taking some gems from that, you're taking that and actually trying to apply it. If you're really as tired as you say you are, you as mad as you say you are, then I hope that you're really running with the feedback, because that's what's going to determine whether things can get better for you guys, or rather you may have to just accept some things that ain't gonna change no time soon if you're gonna stick around. But so for me, love is a conversation that a lot of people just not ready for. But unfortunately too, our egos start to collaborate with love. Things get dangerous, things get dark, unfortunately. Things get really crazy, because our ego selves are also trying to be present with our love selves, and it just ends up being a fucking mess. But problems don't necessarily, well, I just bring it back to the initial question. My biggest role model for how to see human beings has been Jesus Christ. No matter who people were, Jesus saw everyone. Jesus saw the face of God in every human being. Or whether it was the leopard, whether it was the blind, whether it was the sick, whether it was the handicapped, whether it was the whore, whether it was the demonically oppressed, whether it was even the Pharisees, the same motherfuckers who hung him up on the cross, he turned to his father and said, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Okay, so for me, it is very difficult for me to look at someone. If I meet somebody tomorrow and they don't have a job, they're in between places, they're in transition, and we hit it off and we have a great chemistry, their financial situation, their living situation, their stability, it's never going to even be a conversation for me. Because as far as I'm concerned, my stable ass can be in your unstable ass predicament on any given day too. So I'm just not willing to count a person out because they're not at a certain place within their finances or within their living. It doesn't matter, because at some fucking point, guess what? The universe probably gonna allow our ass to struggle together if we stick together long enough. We probably gonna be bankrupt together. You know how many fucking married couples who have been through it all together, the highs and the fucking lows. They both ended up broke. They both ended up miscarried. They both ended up evicted. Like, these things have nothing to do with what it means to really love each other and what it means to be together. And the fact that we out here building relationships based upon superficial things and then being confused about why the fuck the relationship don't work out. Look at what the fuck your points of attraction were to begin with. You love him or her for all the wrong reasons. You built the relationship up upon material shit instead of what was substanceless. You never allowed yourself to love that woman for the goddess she was, and you never allowed yourself to love that man for the God that he was. Y'all made the whole relationship about having an equal credit score and driving equal BM fucking W's, all man-made shit. And then you wonder why love don't want to live in your man-made ass home. You wonder why the spirit of God don't want to live in your fucking physical man-made ass establishment. It is nothing to be confused about. It's very clear why it's not working out. It's very clear why singleness is an epidemic in this particular generation. We got more divorces. We have more of a cut friend culture, a fuck friend culture than we've ever had in this country. More than 70% of marriages in this country are ended in divorces. And 40% of the issues are financial. Look, I'm willing to love mine in a goddamn ditch, and I ain't got no shame about it, bitch. We can be broke and stuck and stinking together. I'm fine with it.
You know why I'm laughing?
Why?
Because you went right into my other point. It just flowed right into it. Now, I've noticed that when you said, you brought up relationships and stuff, and you were saying how you were talking to your friend, I was just recently doing that with somebody that I knew, and she was talking to a dude. She kept trying to figure out if she liked him or not. And hopefully she don't see this, because she see this, she probably gonna beat my ass, but I'll be all right. But she was trying to figure out if she liked the dude or whatever. And I was telling her, I was like, I was talking to her, telling him, give him a chance, whatever, cool. But then she said that she started getting annoyed because he's always broke. He got a issue when it comes out. And at that point, I just kind of stopped talking to him. Like, you know what? It seemed like you didn't really like the dude for real. So you do what you want to do. Now, it's funny that you said your explanation, because I was laughing because that went into my whole thing about Cardi B and Offset. Because I said the exact same thing in my recent video. Is that people always want to say, she need to do this, she need to do that, she need to do this. Like you said too, I was talking to one of my friends, and she will always come to me talking about tell me about her relationship and stuff like that, yada yada, as if I'm really the best person to go to. I haven't been in many relationships, as if I've been in like 1,000 relationships. She come and talk to me. So at some point, I started to realize I just let her vent, let her get it out, or just hear her out. So this one particular time, she was talking about one particular situation with this dude or whatever, and she looked at me, what should I do? And I looked at her, I said, girl, you're gonna do what you want to do. And I tell people this all the time. You're gonna do what you want to do. I can sit up and tell you he ain't shit. I can sit up and tell you everything he done for you or he hasn't done for you. If you're not ready to leave that relationship, you're not gonna leave. That's what it is. Like, people need to understand that. And people think you just, leave him. He's not good for you. If you're not ready to go, it's not gonna happen. Because guess what? You may leave, but however, you're gonna have reservations about the relationship. You're gonna have a whole bunch of what if we give another chance, or what if yeah. So I always tell people, follow whatever your heart is content with, as long as whatever your decisions long as it's not hurting you physically and it's not hurting you too much mentally. And what I mean by that is not a teachable moment for you. That is what I mean by that. So I be telling people all the time, if you're not ready to go, it's no point of us even having this conversation, because you're not gonna go. That at the end of the day, because guess what? You don't have that closure to be like, okay, I know what happened here. There's no way I'm going back. Because the same thing I told my friend, I said, yeah, you may be in a worse position than you were when you first thought about leaving. You may have less money. You may have, other issues going on. But guess what? You know for a fact you're never going back. So I tell them, I say, I'm always here, but just know when you're fed up, then we can have that conversation.
Yeah. a lot of times, if you really want to talk somebody off of the cliff in a relationship and you want to talk them into breaking up with a motherfucker, you ain't even got to be like preaching to them to break up with the motherfucker. Really, what you can do is just get that person to question what's drawing them to the relationship, what they're actually sticking around, like what's causing you to stick around. Get them to actually unpack themselves. And if you get a person to talking enough and being transparent enough and they're willing to really go there with themselves, a person can wake up and realize, you know what? I'm with this motherfucker because I got some daddy issues. I'm with this motherfucker because I got some mommy issues. I got some codependency issues. And then as a person begins to address those things, that self-love and self-repairing and that introspectiveness alone either leads them to naturally falling away from their relationship or engaging that toxic relationship from a healthier place. Because you can be in relationship. I mean, most of us are in relationships to somebody toxic, whether it's a toxic relative, a toxic friend, having a toxic boss, a toxic supervisor. But there's a way to have a healthy response to other people's toxicity. Okay. And so I think that you hit it right. I mean, like you hit it right on the nail. People ain't done a loving, and that's perfectly fine. What I want is, bitch, for you to be fine. I want you to be fine staying. Stop with all the melodramatics and pecking your shit, but you never leave. Stop fucking ringing a town alarm and creating this fucking echo through society that you on your way out the goddamn door, and you know you ain't going no fuck. I want you to accept that you were stuck, bitch, because that's where we can start doing the work at. First of all, I need you to accept you want to be here and that you're gonna be here. Okay, now we need to figure out what got you here. You want to be here, now let's figure out how you can be here without this thing feeling so detrimental to you. Let's figure out you having some better responses and some healthier fucking responses to whatever this nigga's personality type is. There's a way to do all of that shit, but I look, I'm very clear that we're all going to die. I'd rather die happy than to die rich, or I'd rather die happy than to die successful. I've been in toxic, abusive relationships. I've been with a fucking narcissist. But you know, this time around taught me a lot, because I let my ex start back into my life a few months ago, and all hell broke loose, and broke loose pretty goddamn quickly. But it was everything. I needed all that carrying on, because for the first time in my life, I was able to maintain my power with his ass, and I was living for that. I didn't need to change. Huh?
We gotta talk.
And we gonna talk, baby. We gonna talk. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be giving, look, the story time, like when I go to unpack that shit on my platform, it's going to be epic. But you know, everything. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say make a series out of it. Part 1, part 2. Get them views coming in, baby. Oh my god.
Nubian says you only have 1 or 2 times to ask me for relationship advice before I tell you to go to hell. People want too much emotional labor just for them to ignore it. Right. And so, yes, once you come to the conclusion that a motherfucker is gonna do what the fuck they gonna do, you can stop answering your phone in good conscience. You can stop answering the door at good conscience, because you know that this bitch, she ain't ready, she ain't done yet, and it's okay. As soon as she's okay with that, that's when things can be more productive. Are you getting tired because you trying to
No, I'm actually thinking about it, because like I think too as well is that some people just want someone to vent to. Like even if you gotta give them advice, they just want someone to vent to and stuff like. Because I remember I went through a similar situation, and I was like asking for advice, but I was doing it more in a way I just wanted to vent, because I was really hurt. I just wanted to vent, even though I don't know, it was weird. Even though it was my best friend, it was weird for me to open up fully, like how I really, 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 really felt. So for me to mask it, I had to ask for advice, you know. And so I'm like, you was telling me, you know, am I falling asleep or whatever? I'm like, no, I'm actually thinking about when I went through, because they were saying you got 1 or 2 times before you know the person tell you to go to hell, and I'm like, damn, that could have been me, because I know I called my best friend a lot of times just for advice, but that was really me just opening up, because I was really hurt. I was really hurt. That's crazy.
No, and that makes a lot of sense. I think that most people are not running to their support system for advice, like they're running to just vent. They just need to be able to say everything they want to say to that motherfucker, but say it to you instead, so that they don't further damage the situation. So they just need a room to scream inside of, a safe space to be frustrated. But see, that's a part of, that's why I want people to raise their emotional intelligence. If you got to run to your friends to vent, what it means is that your partner is not providing you the right of way to express yourself organically in the relationship. And that's a fundamental healthy property of a relationship. I shouldn't have to run to my friends. Me and you should be able to sit down, nigga to nigga, lover to lover, spouse to spouse, and you be able to express yourself fully, unpack your feelings fully, unpack my feelings fully, and we trust each other enough to have the difficult conversations, to deal with the passion in each other's voices, to deal with the frustration that we're both communicating, but also love each other enough to see that conversation through. We just have to trust each other to hold it together, to get to the resolve. I don't want to be with a nigga that I gotta run and talk to another nigga about the nigga that I'm with. And I'm not going to. By the time that I talk to my friends, it's gonna be that this is what we had to go through to get to some resolve about some shit. But if I gotta build a nigga by you good, we got chemistry, but you difficult to talk to, and we can't have no hard conversations, I don't really want that. But see, that's what I look for in relationships now. It's not the credit score, it ain't the house, it ain't the cars, it ain't your stability. What I look for are the things that money can't buy. Accountability. Is this motherfucker accountable? And I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna observe you, and I'm gonna date your ass long enough to see the universe put us in a situation where I get to see how you show up from the, like, who you are on the inside. That's what the fuck I want to know. I want to know whether you're humble. I want to know whether you the kind of motherfucker who can act up, act out, and make a mistake, and you can take the initiative to apologize. You can take the initiative to correct that shit. Not me calling you following up with some shit you did wrong. Bitch, you did wrong. I should be the one waiting on your call for that unpacking. See, I want to see a motherfucker be an adult in situations. If you can be an adult, oh, bitch, I will breadwin for us all. I don't give a damn, bitch. If you want to be a stay-at-home dad, I don't care, bitch. I could be the Beyonce in a relationship. And you can be the Jay-Z. You can keep Blue and the Gemini twins at home. That's fine, bitch. You can wait for. I don't mind. That adult shit turns me on. But adulting don't got nothing to do with cars and houses. It has to do with integrity. It has to do with character. It has to do with people having humility, people being honest, people being forthright. But most importantly, people loving each other, because true and perfect love is in perfect trust. That's why the scriptures say that perfect love casts out all fear, because a property of perfect love is perfect trust. when you can truly trust me and I can truly trust you, we don't need nothing else but what we have between each other. And the same problems that we cater to and that we both contribute to in our relationships, we both hold the answers to those issues. But it's just about being honest and being accountable and being willing to get through the hardship to get to the good ship. And you are trying to hold in them young sugar.
Oh no.
Yes. Yes, or just be real. Watch a motherfucker under pressure. We are honestly observing all the wrong shit.
Being somebody's friend, that's how you watch them as well. Yeah, that's the reason why they tell you.
But that's why you gotta date. Like that's why dating is important. And you want to see how motherfuckers are in situations. You want to date somebody long enough to observe them in real life situations. That's the only thing that's going to give you a measure of how they built from within. Don't focus on the chemistry and oh, he make me laugh, girl, and he smells so good, and he dressed so good, and he drive this, and we just, really have a great time together. No, bitch. I want to see what we do under those difficult times. I want to see what happens. Now, I ain't gonna make the bad times come, but I am gonna date long enough to where I can see them come because I want to see what you built like from inside. And the good times don't show me that. Well, they don't give me a full picture of that. There's another side of that truth I need to see too. And we need to be with people long enough to see how they navigate in their hearts. Because if a motherfucker fell in you in the dating experience, you know they're gonna deal your ass in the fiance. They're gonna fail your ass in the fiance experience. And if they fail in your ass in the fiance experience, you know damn well they're gonna fail your ass in the married experience. And if they fail in your ass in the married experience, they're gonna fail your ass in the goddamn divorce experience too. That shit gonna be ugly. Everything is goddamn ugly.
Yeah,
dating, us married, divorcing, ugly, every damn well.
So, question. All right. So, if you had to give a time, how long should a person date? If you have to give a time period, I know it's going to be different to see when people, reveal them true selves. Because I always tell people that too. People are always gonna, when they first meet you, they ain't gonna meet. You're not gonna meet the true them for real. But how long do you think, personally, a person should date?
Well, I don't think that there is a particular number or a particular time because, but I would say this: long enough to see what a motherfucker do when the lights go off. Long enough to see how a motherfucker shows up when the problems come. Okay, you just need to stick around long enough to see who they are when nobody watching, and to see who they are when it's time for some goddamn accountability. Like you need to look for those principal things within people's character. I mean, and it's simple, just honesty and accountability. Really, those are just those two things along with it take you a long way. Oh, and a desire to improve upon self. A desire, and the signs of somebody who is actually consciously growing. Because when y'all have conversations, they're talking to you about how they think through their problems. People who thinking through their problems, people who are actually doing the math in their head, they're doing the self-checking. They're even calling you to ask you what your feedback is. And when you give them feedback, even if it's feedback that isn't favorable to them, if they still appreciate that feedback and they're thankful for that feedback, and you see that they take that feedback and do something good with it, they don't defend themselves. These are all positive signs that you with a good motherfucker. You with a great motherfucker, and you and that motherfucker are going to be able to go a long way in life. It just comes down to some simple things and not making it about all this propaganda that this new generation is making relationships all about. Honesty, integrity, and a person having a desire to be a better human being. As long as you are those three things, yeah, we can be together for a lifetime. Dating don't include smashing, right? I'm asking for the people who not talking. Okay, so you answer that question. Reckless, like, how do you feel about the dating process and sex? Do you think that sex complicates things?
I was just gonna ask that. I was gonna say, I gotta think on that because it's like
Cause you a whore.
weird, huh?
Cause you a whore. I know.
I don't know about all of that. I have class.
A classy
Classy slut. I know that's right. Get into it. No, but I was gonna say that it's weird because I know one of my friends. It's weird because like people say don't have sex in the beginning, yeah. But I know some of my friends, they had sex on the first night. They end up being boyfriends with them and stuff. I don't know. I think it can complicate. It can really confuse things. I'm just gonna say the opposite. It can really confuse things because you can sleep with somebody, have that moment, intimacy, and then you can find out, like I said before, you fall in love with one face, and then you see the other faces. You can be like so turned off by that, you really get disappointed by it. So I think it can.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna say, don't fuck nobody who you not sure of yet. Don't fuck nobody who you're not sure you can trust. Don't fuck nobody who you're not sure is a solid individual as it relates to dating. Now, if the agenda is just to get a nut, that's fine. He could be a goddamn psychopath. You just need to dick. But if it's dating, the reason why you don't want to bring sex into the dating experience is because 9 times out of 10, especially, first of all, the last thing you want to do is be fucked completely right by the wrong type of motherfucker.
Ooh,
you don't want to get some right dick from a wrong nigga.
That demon dick.
You don't want to do. Because what's going to happen is if you fuck around and fuck that wrong nigga before you had a chance to see and know for yourself that he was a wrong nigga because his dick was good, look, people call it a trauma bonds. I have a thing called orgasm bonds. And what's going to happen is we're going to have sex and give each other the business. And then because you're responsible for them dopamine levels going off in me, and I'm responsible for your dopamine levels going off on you, bitch, now we done created a goddamn orgasm bond. And now I'm going to be working with shit that I told myself that I would never settle for again, all because on a subconscious level, I'm thriving and attracted and motivated to continue to interact with you due to you being the person who's responsible for the best feeling I'm able to have right now in my life, even if that feeling only comes when we're being intimate and you a headache outside of that in every other capacity. So you can fuck around and get fucked up fucking the right dick on the wrong nigga. Don't do that.
Baby, it'd be dickmatized, bitch.
It'd be dickmatized, honey. And then before you know it, you on some Love and Hip Hop shit. You want some Princess and Ray Day shit. You want some Cardi B and Offset shit. See, that's where Cardi B fucked up at. She fucked some good dick on the wrong nigga, and then got and done fucked around and got addicted. And now you done invoked all the damn spirits of your ancestors from this nigga busting a nut all up in your ass, and now you can't undo this curse, this spell, this enchantment. Okay, this is sorcery. Sex is sorcery. Sex is a science. It's a magical science. That's why God had so many restrictions around the looseness of it, around the casualizing of sex, because sex can fuck you up, and sex can get you into some goddamn soul ties that you will spend your whole life trying to undo. Sound like you want to say something. Go ahead and speak, brother.
No, I was just because you were saying the whole thing about Cardi B Offset. I was like, I 100% agree. I agree, and that plus that wasn't the first time I heard of soul ties. I remember hearing that before too. I'm just thinking because you have an orgasm. You was like orgasm. Oh goddamn. No, but
yes, God, Dr. Chris.
No, but you were saying how you can have orgasm bonds and stuff like that. So I was over here reviewing my whole life, like, have I ever had an orgasm bond or whatever? I was really over here reviewing. I was going through the files, baby. I was like, have I ever had an orgasm bond? I had to make sure. I had to make sure, baby.
But see, like that's the thing. Like that's why I created a narcissistic injury in my ex. He raged out so bad, like when our relationship came to an end, and he did the most. But that narcissistic injury occurred and was able to happen because I was clear about what I was doing this time around.
Mm-hmm.
See, I knew what the power of sex was. I knew what the power of attraction was. None of those things worked this time around while we were together.
Ooh.
So I was able to make love and engage in sensuality with him without the spell being effective. Yes, I was able to engage in the flow of the relationship and still show up. But because I had closed that gap between me and myself before I got back with him, that's why even after he made a mess of things, his mental health collapsed, he embarrassed himself. Since then, he's continued to be in my DMs, in my emails, and in my phones, and he's the one still chasing after me because I was the one who held the power, but it wasn't power over him. I had power over me. Over me, I had power. So that's what makes me the powerful one in this situation. See, he relied upon too many superficial and manipulative shit to hold me in place. The best thing that happened between he and I was when we ended up being separated for 1.5 years. Baby, I understood the arts then, baby. Come on, bring it on. This time around, nigga, I'ma show you who gonna be leaving. I'm gonna show you who gonna be leaving in tears this time, bitch. I'ma show you whose mental health is going to be collapsed. That motherfucker left my house in an ambulance because he was feeling suicidal and homicidal. Bitch. Nigga, you didn't know what the hell you was getting yourself into when you go back with me, bitch. I was the victim the first time, nigga. I was the victim. Now, bitch, I'm the prey and you're the fucking victim. And guess what? The thing that made me the predator was just that self-love. That self-love is what gave me the power. And a narcissist, if you want to injure a narcissist, just stand in your shit. Just stand in. Now, it's going to get ugly if you do, bitch, because a narcissist going to go on a smear campaign. They going to literally try to destroy you. Because what you do when you stand in your shit is you humble their ass. When none of their games work, when none of their bullshit is effective, all hell has to break loose. But that's also how you break loose. Stand in your shit. Know who the fuck you are. Be clear about who the fuck you are. And give no man power over you but the Lord, honey.
Hold on, I'm trying to see what this beeping is. Is that me?
Oh, no, that's me. It's my speaker. It's dying. Because we about to wrap up. Because we about to wrap up this damn live. Everything dying.
But I was going to say one thing, too. If you really want to keep your power, another tip as well is I tell all my ladies this because, you know, it's not really as strong with men, but with ladies, since you guys had this idea of not sleeping with him on the first night or sleeping with him too early. Before that nigga come to your house, you masturbate your ass off. So when he get there, you can see clearly.
Are you all dried out or something?
All dried out. So he like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Take some dry ass pussy with you on that date. That's right. Beat all that without wanting this up out of your ass, honey. Because you don't need that spell vibrating. You don't need that sexual attraction vibrating, influencing you, making you see shit that ain't there, making you project shit into that nigga that he ain't even personifying. Because when there's attraction, emotionally and or physically and or both, yes. It could be a problem. So staying clear.
Says women don't have that idea. Women are the ones who are.
Women don't have that idea. Women are the ones who are the pushiest ones. But you know, I think that women are only. I think that it's the subconscious function of having a womb that makes most women the pushy ones in a relationship, because women have a biological clock. Their bodies are literally tick-tocking. So looking for a mate, having children, have a family at an appropriate and healthy age, those are real concerns for women. And so that puts women in a position to not have time to be fucking around with a fuck boy. Like, nigga, shit, I get off the pot. What we doing here? It's shit on the line here. Putting babies in me, bitch. I'm not gonna be as old as Methuselah, bitch, and pushing out no goddamn children and then down on the damn operating table because your ass didn't want to get for real until we was in our goddamn 50s. No, and I'm not letting all my damn life dreams and fantasies of being a mom pass me by because you want to take forever to marry a bitch and to commit to a bitch. And so women priorities are more mature in a relationship, and I think that that's what makes them come off maybe to men as pushy. When it's just women getting to the business, what we doing.
Let me say this, because I hopefully this don't make this conversation even longer. I don't like how this whole idea of getting the ring is is glorified, because the idea is that a woman has to deal with all this shit, have to just about be chopped and screwed, have to just about be damaged mentally and physically, and in return for you dealing with my fuck shit, I have to get, now you get the ring. What? I don't know. Like, that's kind of ass back.
I say that part again. Like, what happened?
Okay. The idea of, you know, women receiving getting married and receiving the ring in return of being mentally, physically damaged, or having their mind being played with, their bodies being played with, the games they go through by men most of the time, because women do it too, but by other people, and in return for you dealing with my bullshit. Because let's be very clear, the whole idea of women being riders, she a rider or whatever, she gonna stick through. It's so strong when it comes to women, but when it comes to men, fuck that hoe. That's the shit. This is the type of lingo they use. I'm just be honest with you. So it's this whole thing of I'm gonna put you through tests and trials. Once you get through this fuck shit, then you get the ring. What? No.
I want to encourage women, don't buy into all this bullshit. Or when it comes to men, don't let them sit up there and waste your time and tell you that they just need time. You pressuring them, you moving too fast. Now, yes, don't be asking a nigga to make a serious commitment to you in 3 months of being together. I mean, I would say at the longest, a year before y'all. I think 6 months to a year is a nice amount of time to be dating and then concluding upon taking the relationship to the next level. However, men will try to prolong commitment as long as possible because men are raised in a society to not be emotionally available, and that lack of emotional availability is what makes them procrastinate, because they don't have any emotional value of the fucking relationship. The value of their relationship is superficial for them. So they're thinking, why the fuck am I going to marry this chick or be serious with this chick? Because really, to a man, you're just consistent pussy. You're just a consistent hole for him to ejaculate onto and into. And so because men are not emotionally available, it always unfortunately gives them the upper hand in relationships. They unfortunately control their relationships because the woman, she is committed. At this point, she done committed her time, her body. And so, of course, she wants something out of her investment. She wants her return on her investment. And a man, because he's not invested, he gets to swindle her ass around for God knows how long, giving her bits and pieces of what she wants, because he know that as long as she has a foot in the door, she'll continue to stay around and offer the best parts of herself to him. But the gag is,
okay, Kiki Palmer.
But the gag is, it didn't take them niggas 6 months to decide if they wanted them goddamn Jordans. They saw them motherfuckers and made a swift purchase. It didn't take their asses goddamn 6 months to decide that they want them goddamn new rims. They made a swift goddamn purchase. It didn't take their ass 6 months to a year to decide that they wanted an ounce on that goddamn weed, on that goddamn ganja they burning up. So don't you let these niggas get out here and tell you.
Pussy.
Don't let these niggas get out here and tell you that they need more time, because these niggas ain't taking that much of time to do nothing else that they doing in their goddamn life. They're just bullshitting you. So haul ass. Yeah. Haul ass. I don't give a damn how cute, how good the sex is, how attractive, how much money. A man who is taking that long to see it for you is a man who don't see it
for you.
He don't see it for you. Okay? And the only thing that got you there is not him. It's you. You can't let go of what you want from him. That's what got you entangled up and enmeshed.
Baby.
I'm just saying.
Baby.
Because what's good is goose up for the gander. A man, if I'm the only way that I'm gonna be convinced that a nigga is really that patient is when I see him being that patient with everything else in his life. I shouldn't be the only thing it's taking you forever to get around to. If I see that it takes you to get around to all the other shit too, okay, I can get with that. But bitch, you ain't gonna be getting to you ain't gonna be getting to the green light on everything else. Because you vacation when you want and where you want, you go buy what you want, you go do what you want, but it's all these ifs, ands, and buts and all this contemplation when it comes to me. I can take the hint. So motherfuckers should learn to take the hint. But see, people can't take the hint because people got egos. People don't want to lose. People don't want to feel like the loser. People don't want to feel rejected. So they'll stay in it until they get what they want, so that they don't have to walk away and they don't have to feel rejected.
That used to be me, baby. I used to get rejection, but now I don't give a fuck. I'm over it now.
Like, okay, well, here's the question.
What's up?
So you said that you're rejected, but do you realize you probably wouldn't experience rejected if you spent more time trying to figure out why you don't want what wants you.
That was
all these people in society crying aloud that they done been rejected. You know why you rejected?
I'm one son that quote unquote don't want me. And I came to that conclusion too, babe. We gotta talk. Because remember that time I was telling you about this particular phase I was trying to go to, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's the whole thing of I've gotten used to being rejected, but I was like, damn, why is that? Like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on or whatever? Because being rejected wasn't the issue, just it was consistent. I'm like, god damn, like, what the fuck? So I had to evaluate myself. I'm like, damn, bitch, that's what's wrong. You in the wrong pool. You in the wrong pool, bitch. Get your ass at the kiddie pool. Get in here with the big boys. And by the way, that has nothing to do with pedophilia. I don't want people taking this in a different way.
FYI.
Nothing to do with that. Just be clear. But yeah, get your ass out of this pool and go into a different area. So Jesus. I'm still working on that, baby.
Okay,
we want to talk after.
Yeah, we gonna talk. But I want people to just focus on, like, just really go down the rabbit hole, like, with yourself. Explore yourself. Ask yourself, why don't you want what wants you? Because what you're calling rejection is just you trying to squeeze a goddamn square into a circle. You're not rejected, bitch. You just don't fit. So how about you actually take a look at what you are naturally attracting and then ask yourself exactly what is the problem? But you know how hypocritical a rejection is? This is why I don't ever feel sorry for people who get rejected. Because the people who get rejected also rejecting somebody else too. Like all the motherfuckers who not your type getting rejected. So you want me to value your crocodile ass tears, and you around here also rejecting the whole community of motherfuckers who want you to because they ain't your type. Like who the fuck?
I was gonna ask you that because you said evaluate, what you naturally attract. I said then what happens if something that you naturally attract, you're not attracted to? Then what? Like, that's the thing. And that's what kept happening with me. Like it wasn't like people I can be like, okay, I can work with, or something. It was like I wasn't attracted to them at all. So it's like, it's nothing I can really work with to try to expand my mind and work with and try to broaden my horizon. But it's like I don't find you attractive at all. Not even on emotional, not physical, not any type of level. So it's like, I'm sorry, but the thing is with me, at least when I do rejection or whatever, I do it in a very nice way. I don't be an asshole about it, and I think that's the thing too.
But that's the thing. Like, I think we also come to too many like rash conclusions. Like, what's so funny about us as people is that we admit that we're growing and that we have a desire to grow, but at the same time, like literally simultaneously, we have this attitude of absolute about ourselves. How on one end can we say I'm growing, but then have such an absolute understanding of ourselves? Like for me, when I started doing exactly what I'm telling other people to do, like look at what you are attracting and really go down a rabbit hole, one of those things that I discovered was that I kind of lost my kind. Where was I? I kind of lost my.
How we can have absolute understanding of who we are.
One of the things that I realized. Well, first of all, just to kind of go back a little bit, like when people want my spiritual services, and people come under my tutelage, I always tell people that look, the work that we're going to do is going to change you. That means that who you are as of October 13, 2020, you are more than likely going to look like a stranger to yourself October 13 of 2021. And everybody who's been under my tutelage has grown so significantly within just a 6 month to a year's time that they can't even recognize the person that initially approached me. They can't even recognize that person. So when it comes to this idea of an absolute understanding about ourselves, we have to realize that we only know ourselves according to who we are right now. Right now. So all this he ain't my type and blah, blah. Now, I'm not saying that your type is ever going to involve just a completely incompatible, somebody who you're totally unattracted to. But there are definitely people that all of us are attracting who really isn't that fucking bad. And yeah, will it take some manual thinking? Will it take some creative thinking to be able to really get into that thing? Yeah, of course. But here's another gag. God doesn't even respond to physical attractiveness at all. Because we also are made in the image of God. What it means is that what we really should be after is who people are. That's who we should be attracted to. Not what I feel when I look at you, but what I feel when I see you being a fucking man should turn me on. What I feel when I see you being a fucking woman is what turns me on. It really should have nothing. Now it does. Unfortunately, we live in a world where what what we see does have a lot of value, but what should hold the stake in the fight, what should be the blood in the fight, is what I see of you in terms of your living, your conduct, what you stand for,
how you interact.
But guess what? And it happens. Why you think all these females be ready to fuck these ugly rappers once they become successful ugly rappers? They ain't even no longer ugly, because what a woman don't realize she's turned on by now is she's turned on by a man who was able to make it out of his circumstances. That's what real masculinity looks like to the feminine principle. Is a triumphing spirit, trumping your circumstances and situation, transmuting your experiences. That's a fucking turn on, but not even just for women. That's a turn on. Yeah.
Okay.
But that should beg the question of us going down the rabbit hole. Like, we should literally be on our knees praying to God. Help me be attracted to who someone is. Help me to undo my materialism. Help me to undo my lust. Help me to undo my base animalistic instinctual self, which is attraction based solely. Help me to unpack that and dismantle that. But we don't pray them kind of prayers. And we don't see that in people. And we don't see people the way that God sees people, but that's primarily because we don't even see ourselves the way that God sees us either. And you can't give to somebody what you don't give to yourself. Yeah. So when you start doing this self-work and you start unpacking yourself and peeling back layers and doing the homework and getting to the root of who you actually are, a lot of that also sheds the illusion of the ego and things that you thought you was attracted to. See, that's why we call it an old life. In my old life, I did A, B, C, D, F, and G. Mm-hmm. In this new you, there's a totally different points of attraction. So it's unfortunate that we've made something like love so beautiful. We've attached all these physical attributes to love, you know, the money and the independence and the stability and the looks and all of that. It'd be nice to just let love be what it is, a spiritual experience. And sometimes you have to do the work and challenge yourself, because you'd be surprised at what your ego is keeping you from. And I'm going to say to people, I shut the fuck up. Mm-hmm. One experience that changed my fucking life. I was 19 years old, and I had a friend named Corey. And Corey had this cousin named Justin.
Oh, Lord.
And baby, Justin was not eye candy to me. Like, I remember when I first saw him, I was like, damn, he's pretty ugly. And I don't typically say that about a person. But that's how, like, striking his appearance was to me. I was like, he is definitely not attractive. But this boy was pressed on my ass. He was pressed on my little 19-year-old ass. And he actually asked me out on a date. And I don't know what type of witchcraft he did, but I said yes for some fucking reason.
You left that place like, what the fuck?
Because aside from me not being attracted to him at all, he was actually a really nice guy. He was fun. He was really smart. But physically, I was not fucking attracted. Mm-hmm. Man. We had went on a date. We had a great time. And at the end of the date, he asked me for a kiss.
You gave it to him.
And I was actually open to it because I was feeling comfortable. We was having a good time. I still didn't see it for him, But when I tell you, when we kissed, I felt an explosion of butterflies.
I can tell you what that explosion was. That wasn't butterflies.
That vibrational chemistry became
Exploded.
completely activated. From that day on, baby, I was crazier than a bag of nuts over that damn boy. You couldn't tell me that Justin was not the most sexiest, most fine ass. When y'all be thinking about how that pretty woman ended up with that unattractive man, baby, it was magic. Magic, literally, bitch. If so, but I say that to say that from that day, I always second guessed what my ego told me I wanted, because I had an experience in my life to reference that proved to me that there are two types of perceptions that we operate in, and one of those perceptions are completely hidden behind our surface perception. But when we identify so strongly with our surface self, and we think that those are our only impulses, those are our only attractions, those are the only ways in which we see the world, and we don't give ourselves an opportunity to experiment and to find out that there's another self. Another self, and that other self likes the things that your surface self don't. That other self can be attracted to the activities and the individuals who your ego self don't. And that shit I'm reckless. That shit blew because literally
Wait.
you could have told me
Wait.
I could be attracted to this motherfucker. You just could not have told me that.
No, the reason why I'm laughing because every time you say that, it reminds me of putting on to make him want to marry me. Put it on to make him want to marry me.
That shit blew my wig. So when people be on this whole rah, like, girl, that ain't me. That ain't me. I know who I am. And I be like, girl, dude, you have zero clue about who the fuck you really are. And if you would just give yourself a chance to challenge that shit sometimes, baby, your life would fucking change if you would just challenge the you think you know you are, the you think want what you want, the you got all this trust and absolute in, baby. If you would just experiment sometimes and challenge yourself to do the shit that your ego telling you, oh, that ain't us, that ain't what we do, bitch, do it and then tell me what happens.
That's the thing, I've done it though. I've done it. I haven't had that experience of butterflies. Like, we'll talk more offline. Well, probably a different day because I'm about to go sleep. But it's like I've tried it, and I know I'm everybody changes over some time. I don't know you're looking like that. I have tried it. I really have tried it. But I was gonna say that like I know we as individuals, we change over years. I'm not the same person I was back then. Hint, the stupid shit I said is what's wrong with me. And now I wouldn't say no stupid nothing like that. You get what I'm saying? So I know evolution and change comes, but every single time I try to, give things a chance when it comes to, okay, let me just give this a chance. It don't really work out, but I'm gonna continue trying now. Because apparently what I was doing before, fucking with the trade.
Now I ain't saying that if you give some shit a chance that it's gonna be your goddamn knight in shining armor. But what I'm saying is that when you get to see that your perception is as fragile as it is, it changes the way that you understand yourself. You're able to be a lot more flexible and open-minded in your life because you know that those surface desires and those surface impulses do not represent the totality of you. that's just one shade of your gray, and there's 49 more of those goddamn shades.
That is so true. Cause like I really do be trying. Shit don't be working out. And I'd be like, and I know I've changed somewhat. I'm still the old bitch, but somewhat because I don't be fucking with the trade like that. Because baby, but anyway, any LGBT, even straight people, anybody on here, do not fuck with the trade. The trade gonna get you robbed. They're gonna steal from you. They might fuck around, wake up, get paranoid, murder you. Do not mess with the trade. You hear from someone from experience.
Don't fuck with trade unless you are really trading something that trade wants. Okay?
That is a very true statement. Because, baby, my ass, it's easier said than done. Because if I find a piece of trade come my way, I just can put them off on this offer a little bit. Because I think a piece of trade is going to be here soon. Not today, but soon. But, you know.
I don't endorse trade, but if you're going to do trade, honey, just
be safe.
Be safe, and please, I mean, understand that it's just a one night only, honey. Don't set yourselves higher than that when it comes to trade, child. A trade is not husband material. Trade is not boyfriend material. Don't try to turn trade into a house husband, honey. It's never going to happen.
And I think that's actually I'm about to ask another question. We're gonna leave that alone because that's gonna make this live even more longer.
Look, we have been here for 3 hours, and all I've managed to do is put a few strands of hair on this whole head for 3 goddamn hours, honey, and this bitch still suffering from alopecia all in the back, from male pattern baldness still all in her crown and shit, and we done been here for 3 fucking hours now. Have you? First of all, you know what I want to do? I want to do more of these like improv shooting the shit lives. Like just come on and just talk, just fucking talk. Like
someone said, "What is trade?"
I think you bring up a Clefo Dollar. I have not heard anything about Clefo unless y'all talking about the story that Tasha K was pushing.
Who the hell's Clefo? Let me be quiet. Huh? I don't know who it is. Who is that? I don't know who that is.
Clefo Dollar is a black mega church pastor. He's big. He's big in like the TBN world and the Christian network. And you might have heard about some controversy he was in like 2 years ago when he asked his congregation for like a $65 million fucking private jet, and it was like it probably was longer than that, but people was like, how could a pastor ask for that much money? But apparently recently, you know, controversial blogger Tasha K had put out this story that apparently isn't true. Apparently it ain't no truth to it, but the rumor was allegedly Clefo Dollar been getting fucked all in his ass, and that he was like fucking these like niggas, and they was fucking him for like 4 hours straight, and he was like paying these boys, and apparently there was like people who tried to, it was a mess. The whole thing was allegedly. Now I said I was gonna listen and like get into the story, but I never even got around to getting into it, especially after it kind of came out that it was kind of hogwash. But I'm just like, I mean, but I also, not that Clefo Dollar is guilty, but I mean, I'm not surprised when all this type of crazy shit goes on in high places. I mean, like, these people have the world. These rich and wealthy people have access to the world. They have been deeply desensitized. So all type of extreme shit has to get their rocks off. I mean, these people don't have no financial worries. They can go where they want to go, purchase what they want to purchase. Could you imagine actually being in that position? You would be deeply desensitized too. Like, the regular smuggler, like, nothing excites you anymore because you've obtained what is exciting. So your excitement, not somebody else's excitement. Your turn-ons now are not regular people turn-ons now. You kind of get into more perverse shit the more that you actually accumulate in life because you acquire a new normal.
Yep.
People don't think that happened because people ain't never had that as a new normal. So they keep thinking they're gonna be their regular self in these in these elevated circumstances. For every elevation, your consciousness mutates or adjusts to each frequency. Each frequency you acquire, your consciousness has to adjust. Yes.
And that's the reason why God doesn't allow us to even get it to certain levels. Like, because people always be wondering, you know, why I'm not making it or why I'm not doing this. Maybe God is just keeping you from becoming that person that you don't want to be. Because a lot of people, when they get to certain levels, they turn into all types of people. Sometimes people that they like you said before, that they don't understand.
I mean,
in a bad way.
The scriptures themselves say, what does it profit a man to gain the world and to lose his soul? The issue is that you can be humbled and normal and be a powerful person, but when your God is not God and your God is money, you're going to get into some perverse shit. When your God is not God, but your God is pleasure and thrill, you're going to get into some perverse shit. When your God is actually not God, that's when you're going to get in trouble as you grow. If you keep God your God, as you accumulate and you acquire and you expand and you grow and you build upon and you evolve, you'll be fine. You can be an amazing, legendary, trusting, connected, grounded person at the highest point of creation. But you're going to have to step up all your practices to see God, because the more you go up, the more that you're going to see the ways of the world and the flesh. Your carnality is going to be screaming out at you. So what a lot of people unfortunately don't do when they start to win in life, they don't step up their consecration. They don't step up their prayer life. You got to step all that shit up, because that's your safety net from becoming the world. The scriptures say to be in the world but to not be of it. You can be in this world, participate in this world, and not be of this world. But a lot of people forsake stepping up the volume of their meditation and their spiritual practice and their spiritual identity, so they get lost in the sauce. Atlanta has the same reputation. Like, if you, like in South Carolina where I am, Atlanta is like Sodom and Gomorrah. So people be like, oh, don't go to Atlanta, it's going to change who you are. The only people who change who they are people who don't know who the fuck they are to begin with. That's why they get lost in the sauce. They don't take a real identity into Atlanta or into LA or into New York or into wherever it is. So it all falls through and falls apart. So people didn't know who the fuck they are. But
I'm gonna say, Mr. Hamilton, to answer your question directly, trade is just a person that is I would hate to say masculine, but someone who either pretends or plays the role of being straight, but then, you know, behind closed doors or at night, it's a whole different story. That's what trade is.
And I would add to that and say that trade is a closeted bisexual.
Yes.
Who is very straight presenting, and who more than likely is already living out the heterosexual part of his life. He probably has a girl, probably has a wife, probably has kids, and all that good jazz, but he's stopped dropping and rolling through the LGBT community in the midnight hours.
And we accept them with open arms.
No, y'all accept them with open arms.
Wait, no, I'm talking about the community in general. I ain't saying me. I'm just leaving my trade phase. But I'm just saying in general, we usually
trade is not cute, because like they literally are defiling the fuck out of their relationships. Like, they be in whole fucking relationships and marriages and be just all up to the extracurricular activities. Like, I mean, now for me, I don't give a damn that it's with the same sex, but I'm just like, infidelity is infidelity.
Yeah.
It don't make me feel better that you're cheating on me with a chick or a nigga. Bitch, cheating is cheating. And it's ridiculous. But the reason why I also have some empathy toward the trade is because, like you said earlier, trade is a direct product of the patriarchy and their religion created this pressure to hide yourself and to aspire to heterosexuality. And once again, going back to one of your talking points about a safe space, you can't create a homophobic nation and then expect people to be living in a fucking truth.
Yep.
And the only people who are living in a truth underneath all that threat are people who we really should be celebrating, who got the heart to live in a truth despite the consequences. But we don't represent the entirety of the community. There are people who are not strong enough to disappoint their church and to disappoint their families, and they're trying to live up to this thing because of a pressure and a role that they inherited by the society in which they were born in. And society has got to accept responsibility for producing that secrecy, because that secrecy is leading to shame. It's leading to the destruction of families. It's leading to a lot of fucking personal damage. It's leading, people have taken their lives as a result of being found out about. Remember that story that came out last year where that girl had walked in?
Yep.
And two guys having sex, and then she tried to exploit
Blackmail
them, and then they killed her ass.
Yep. The same thing I said in my video. You can't be exposing somebody. That is dangerous. Do not do that. And I be trying to tell the heterosexual people that just don't know, that is dangerous. Don't be playing them games trying to be funny. Fuck around. You be over there in the gates of heaven or hell, wherever the hell you go. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful with that. Like, I know it's all fun and games. Yeah. Y'all think it's all cool. It gets real. It gets ugly. For real.
But you know what's so funny? I was so mad that when that story came out, that the public made it about
the guy.
Well, they made it about a lot of shit, but what nobody made it about was what type of fucking society are we producing where a secret has that much momentum behind it? That a secret means that much to a person that they would rather take someone's life than to stand in the light of their own truth. The fact that we didn't take that incident and make that an introspective thing for us as a people, like, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing particularly to Black men? Because that level of secrecy really impacts Black bisexual men than it does Black bisexual women, because women, for the most part, get to live in a society that allows them to self-actualize sexually.
It's beneficial to another man.
It's a double standard.
Yeah.
But so cleaning that up and atoning for that, yeah, it's not just on the responsibility. It's not just on the down low community. We also have to make ourselves better neighbors and actually love each other and support each other in our authenticity. That's what produces environments and spaces where people get to live in a truth, and you get to see people for who they are without having to peek through their window and look through their phone and walk up on them in the midnight hour and catch them doing something that they're doing. If you want to live in a society where it's as easy to tell who Reckless Logic is just by the way he shows up, you've got to let him actually show up. You got to let him show up, because you can't then make a mess of him deceiving you and him hiding parts of himself and make that into a narrative when you don't even support the man standing in his God-given truth.
I know that's right. And you know what I find so funny?
What?
It's how people love to say that we're LGBT is such confusion and stuff. But there was also a case as well. I believe it was a trans woman. She was Hispanic. Monica, I could be wrong. I forgot the name, but it was a Hispanic trans woman in a minivan dude or whatever. And he was attracted to her. And he went and he killed her. Now, confusion, what people say is that we're confused because we like this, we like what we like or whatever. But I think confusion is that the fact of you're attracted to her, and so you decided to murder her. What sense does that make? Now that is the real confusion. That's what confused. That right there is an example of confusion. And same thing when people like to erase the existence of bisexual men. Oh, you either got to be gay, got to be straight, or bisexual people need to choose. No, if I like men and I'm a man, I'm gay. If you're a woman and you like men, you're straight, and vice versa. So if I can like a man and you can like a man, and this person can like a woman and this person like a woman, why can't people like both? What system?
I never understood why people had a hard time wrapping their IQ around the bisexual community. I'm like,
competition.
That's no, but it's literally unintelligence. Like, why wouldn't people be able to find both men and women sexually and emotionally attractive? Like,
especially me, I'm a bad bitch. Let me stop. I'm fucking with you.
But what I'm saying is that even non-bisexual people can at least bring themselves to point out a person who is attractive of the opposite of the same sex. Like, women can compliment women, and you even have men who are secure enough in a heterosexuality to still be able to say, "Oh, that guy is very handsome. That guy is very attractive."
But even
so what makes you think that bisexual people then just couldn't exist? Like, I mean, I'm not personally bisexual, but just because I'm gay don't mean that I don't find women attractive. I don't find women sexually attractive, but I find women to be very alluring. And the only thin wall between me and bisexuality is literally just the sexual component. But for bisexual people, that sexual component is there for them.
Like, it's the whole thing. People always like I said before, the confusion thing. Like, just say for instance, I'm a person, I like hamburgers. This person over here, they like freaking pizza. Bisexual people, they like hamburgers and pizza. That's not confusion. That's knowing what you like. That's not confusion at all.
Like two of every damn thing else. A motherfuckers like vegetables and beef. Motherfuckers like pink and red. People like rock and roll and hip hop. Why the fuck can't a motherfucker like men? And well, I don't understand what's so intellectually challenging about the concept of bisexual people.
And it's the whole thing of when people love to try to erase the existence. I just lost this point. Fuck. It'll come back to me. I'm doing the top of my head. Damn, what's I gonna say? Just keep talking. It'll come back to me.
Somebody said, I like that Sagittarius-y. Oh, I'm probably putting the fuck out of your name. I'm gonna call you Sag. Said basically Pan. I'm confused by people who aren't attracted to all kinds. See, I want to evolve into a pansexual person, because I think that pansexual people is how God really built sexuality. I think that hetero and homo are like the extremes of the polarity. But I think that what was supposed to be the natural orientation was supposed to be pan, which is having a affinity toward who people are, being able to fall in love with people, being able to be sexually aroused by people based upon the way you relate to that person, irregardless of gender, the way that you engage that person, irregardless of gender. That is so beautifully holistic, and it just strips all of like the material self down and literally make it about the bond and the experience of each other. And that sounds and feels more in alignment with the true nature of God than anything else does to me, to be honest.
I'm really trying to think of this point. It was something really good too.
Marquis asked a question. I saw one of your videos discussing Larry Reid. I have a question. Okay, answer it. Somebody says, I am working on that one. I want to be open. I want to be open too, just be real. We need to go on an open journey. you gonna work on being open toward men. I'm gonna work on being open toward women, and we'll.
Ooh. Being more open. Procreate. What the hell? Okay. That's why it's all I need to talk. Is he frozen? Conscious. Am I frozen? Okay, so I'm not the only one. Okay, so I'm here. Okay, I was about to say, I'm like, hopefully mine didn't freeze. I thought I was tripping. Conscious, come back. Okay, so you froze. Okay, so I'm not the only one. Oh, he done left, done came back, done left me here with all you guys. Well, you guys got any questions? I can answer some questions. Let's see. I know he gonna come back eventually. I was wondering. I was like, "What the hell?" I was like,
I knew it was coming. I was surprised it lasted this fucking long without fucking having a heart attack. This bitch always tripping. Let me read these comments real quick. Rashawn said, "People are just ignorant. What people need to realize: you love who you love, and that's it. Love is just love, man. Mm-hmm. That's why I say we need to talk. Okay." But we're gonna talk or just be real. Hopefully he'll come back. Yeah, I'm back. Sad says, you're frozen. Oh man, CT about anyone a Patreon to Larry Reed. I do have people who are Patreons to Larry Reed, but they're not in here tonight. I know that my mod, Classy Queen, is a Patreon to Larry Reed. But what's the question, Marky?
Are y'all beefing?
Who?
You and Larry Reed.
Why would you be beefing?
Okay, I don't know. I was trying to make sense of what the hell was going on. Ignore me.
But did somebody say something? Am I supposed to be beefing?
I was just trying to make sense of it.
Ignore Larry is one of me and Larry are good. Like, that's my brother.
I thought so. I was like, aren't y'all good or whatever? I thought I missed something.
But I don't know if that's the question. I mean, ain't no telling what Marquis want to ask. I'm trying to figure out what this question is, but
I'm really trying to remember what this last thing was about trade. No, he said no. No what?
Like no what? Like you're not explaining that to Marquis. Like what? Like what? What is like? I don't. Speak, child. Exactly. Just speak. Like communicate a clear thought so that there's no questions asked. Like just communicate a clear whatever you're trying to communicate.
Okay. Well, I'm assuming he's typing. While he's typing, let me give you guys some more tips on the trade.
Oh God, here we go.
Another tip to tell if your man is trade or person that's dealing with is trade. By the way, these tips I'm giving you, these are not just if you have one tip, then that's he might be trade, gay, whatever you want to call it. It's the whole thing. If you got like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tips simultaneously or over some time, you done seen them, no issues. Then he might be a little bit trade or whatever. Another one is if he's like a womanizer. Now this is something I've experienced, is that if they're womanizers, if they're like running through women left, right, it's like really, really, really ridiculous. 9 times out of 10, well, I'm gonna say 7 times out of 10, he's trying to quench a thirst that he cannot satisfy. He is trying to satisfy an urge he cannot satisfy. And also, I was gonna say something else, is that another tip that I've noticed. Now, like I said before, if you get one of these, it's not solid. If you get like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you might have a case. One of the things too, if their girlfriend, wife, if they got a bad bitch, not a bad bitch, bad bitch, BIH. Just say if like he's like a 7 and she like a 45, 10. I've noticed that too. Because just say for instance, like it's like a situation where I would join his organization. I would just ask. He was just asking. But say for instance, like okay. No, but just say for instance, like you have a situation where there's a gay person and this old dude or whatever, and the gay person exposed him or whatever, and people are like, oh no, he can't be gay. Look at his girlfriend. that whole deal. So just keep out. And where there's smoke, there's fire. What'd you say?
You about to make a whole lot of women paranoid about their whole ass dog ass man.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's more to it. It's not like this one thing, now you gotta no. It's like you gotta be multiple things. And first off, if you on my video about that, then hell, shit, you might want to be worried because you shouldn't be on that video if you don't think your man is gay. I'm just saying. No tea, no shade. Nothing for now. I'm gonna make them nervous. I'm so sorry. I forget everything I said, y'all. I don't need y'all being nervous.
Can you see me clearly? Because it's choppy on.
It's a little choppy. It's a little choppy.
Can you see me?
So good.
Can you see me?
You froze.
You said what?
Okay, so now you're good. It's like going in and out, but you're good for right now. I can see you blinking and stuff.
And so we need to go ahead and end this live. It's more choppy.
Well, should I do my exit? Oh shit! I'm gonna lose stuff.
So what?
You're going in and out. I can't hear you.
So what? Can you hear me?
A little bit. No, I can't hear you.
I'm just gonna end the live.
Well, alrighty, guys. Oh wait, he's coming back. Well, while he come up, I'm gonna give up my exit speech so when he come up, he can say what he gotta say. Like I said, guys, my name is Reckless Logic. My Instagram.
Where the hell is Reckless at?
Huh?
God, I don't know what happened. Okay, can you see me?
I can see you. I can see you, but I can hear you.
Okay, I'm going to end the live because it's getting all glitchy and Wi-Fi getting crazy. So we're just going to tell the people goodbye. We will be seeing them again soon.
Bye.
Bye. Love you all.
Alrighty, y'all.